Man, how are you? It's finally good to meet you, Mohammed.
I'm good. I'm good, brother. You are a legend. It's pleasure for me to talk to you. I'm a big fan, and before I'm a fighter, I'm a big fan of the sport.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, boys, welcome back to another episode of the MIGHTYcast. We are joined by one of the best flyweights in the world. He's undefeated in his amateur and his professional career. He was in the UFC, undefeated in the UFC. Now this man is traveling the world doing side quests, trying to make his way back to the UFC. Please help me welcome in Mohammed Mokaev, my brother. You know, you're not home right now. You said before we started, filming, you're in a different town training. Do you got something on the books, or are you just always training, looking for the next opportunity to be able to make your way back to the UFC?
Now I'm just traveling and training with the best. Like I could this morning, I trained in different town, evening in different, and just traveling. And I have a wrestling match against one of ACA flyweight contenders, and the wrestling match 9th of August in Dagestan. So first time I'm competing in Dagestan, like on a big stage, and I think it's interesting for me to compete in front of my people. I have to take advantages of it.
Now, let's start it off. Okay, where did you start? I mean, obviously, let's just jump right into the UFC. You get to the UFC, and you have multiple fights. And then eventually you get let go from the UFC, right? Like lately, I don't know if you've been seeing what I've been saying is that mixed martial arts, the UFC is not a sport, meaning that in a sport, you want to have the best athletes in the sport. You are one of the best athletes in the sport. You're undefeated. You won six or seven fights in the UFC. And you won 7 fights in the UFC. Then they don't re-sign you. Okay, now there's, stories going on. It's he said, she said. Obviously, you and Manel Kopp, we've had Manel Kopp on the MIGHTYcast. He's a friend of the show. What happened, right? Like, what can you disclose of what happened of you, the negotiations? Now, I don't want you to get yourself in trouble. What can you tell us, like, what happened? Because at the end of the day, you're one of the best flyweights in the world, and you're not in the UFC, but you were there. You're 7-0. The last time we seen this happen is when I fought, not when I fought, but Kyoji Horiguchi. I think he won like 6-1 in the UFC. He decided to leave the UFC and go back to Japan and fight in Rising, Dream, and Bellator and make more money. So, what's your story?
My story is, first of all, like I was fighting on the last fight deal contract against Manel, so it all depended on my performance. So they want basically Mick Maynard is the matchmaker of UFC flyweight division, and basically the story is he asked Dana to keep the division, and he wanted more excited fighters, and excited fighters in front of for UFC. It's the strikers with the finishes. And for myself, I would go sometimes. I did 7 fights within 2 years, and to make flyweight it is hard, So right. Within 2 years, I had 7 fights against 4 of them was top 15 opponents, and basically the more I fought, the less performance I show because. The longer you're in training camp, you just get tired of it. You get tired of it, and I start with great performance and start slowing down, and just didn't have that hunger. But I thought I just need to reach to the title. Everything was in my head was just the Pantoja. That's it. I didn't care. I was just there, maybe win by decision. I didn't care, but only guy who was in my head, it was Pantoja. That's it. And basically, I was fighting against Manel on the last fight deal. And if I knock him out, they will definitely sign and give me like the best deal. But I didn't finish him, and basically they didn't resign me.
Now, usually when an athlete goes into their very last fight, especially an undefeated athlete, before I went in my I think I had 3 fights left in my deal. They're like, hey, we want to re-sign you to a new deal. They didn't want me to get to that very last deal. Then I would have all the leverage. But for you, did they ever come to you be like, hey, you're in your last fight deal? it's your last fight. Can we re-sign you? Or were you just like, I'm going to go through my whole fight deal and then we talk about re-signing?
Yes, I've been told, to be honest, it might get me in trouble, but I've been told, listen, you need to put performance, like go out there and take the risks if you want a new contract. I've been told by that. It wasn't something that the trouble I did outside the hotel. It didn't help, but it wasn't the main reason. It was all about the performance, and I don't think it's fair because we are mixed martial arts, and I was 23 years old when I was 7-0 in UFC. And they have to understand that that I cannot be the best Mokaev, like flying knees and stuff every fight. Sometimes fight can be ugly. It depends on the opponents as well. It depends on opponents, and I felt that I'm gonna get caught.
You felt that?
I felt that. Remember, it was all announced after the fight. But inside the cage, I asked, I deserve new contract or not. Straight inside the octagon, I already knew because I took a decision and I already felt that.
I want a title shot. Hey guys, do I deserve new UFC contract?
See, that's the interesting thing we talked about. This is, you're basically answering, like, not my answer, but you're giving it more substance of me saying that it's not a sport, right? Could you imagine the fastest runner in the world, and it wasn't exciting when he ran the fastest. He just ran it, but he beat everybody. And they're like, you know what? We don't want to see you run because when you run, it's not exciting. But even though you beat everybody, we don't want to see you run anymore. We want to see everybody who runs like, even though they're not the fastest, it looks, we enjoy watching them run more. So they're not going to have this guy run at the Olympics. That's basically how I feel what's going on in your situation. Because when it's a sport, at the end of the day, it's about you getting a W. It's about you beating people. It's about you being undefeated, right? I mean, there is a part of the showman stuff or whatnot, but when you're continuing to fight, because you say you fight, how many times did you fight in 7? You had 7 fights in UFC, and how many in a span of how long?
2 years.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
That activity.
First year was 4 fights within 1 year, basically, and then I had the leg injury, if you remember, the knee bar.
Oh, that was deep.
And then I came back straight away and I said, listen, I'm ready to fight. It was March. I was ready to fight in August against Team Elliott, but Team Elliott were injured, so they took it to October.
Damn. Yeah, and then how much do you weigh? Like, how big do you get between fights? Because making that weight cut all the time does a lot of damage to your body as well.
Right now, I'm about 67 kilogram, but after that knee bar, I was 73 kilogram because I was in my bed, lying down. I couldn't even bend, extend my knee, and I'm thinking, wow. I never mind. I was thinking about to come back to the sport. I was thinking, will I walk again or not?
Well, did you get an MRI? Did he tear anything?
Yeah, it was everything. It was everything. My knee was like a pregnant knee,
Wow. Yeah, that was a fucking deep knee bar, and you still end up beating him. Super deep knee bar. If you guys haven't seen that fight, go back and watch it. I believe the guy you fought was Philo. I could say it wrong. Yeah, Philo Hoy. That was a dope fight. He had you in a deep knee bar. I thought you were gonna tap, but you're like, nope, ain't happening. So that knee bar, did you have to get surgery to get it fixed, or was everything just swollen?
No, I did the football team, Wigan Athletics. I did the rehab with them. And I actually 1 week before the fight, I bought Mercedes car. I told him, I pay you half, and then after the fight, I'll pay you half as well. So in the middle of fight, I was like, hey, I need to pay for my milk, and that's it. And I need to survive that.
Oh my God, Mokaev in there, he goes, I'm gonna buy this Mercedes, and I'll come back and pay half after. You can't tap because I need the other half so I can pay for the rest of the Mercedes. Huh? Well, why didn't you just wait till after? Why'd you have to buy it before the fight? Why couldn't you just wait till after the fight?
Maybe somebody else will buy it. I just like that kind.
Oh my God, he goes, you know what? Hey, you're young, you can do things like that. Okay, well, that's That's the thing that always scratches my head about, about your career so far. I mean, you're still young. You're 25 now, 25?
I'm 24, 25 for the end of this month, yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, happy early birthday.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at your career, you're still young. You're 25, undefeated, and now you're off you just fought recently in karate combat. And then you just had another thing. Where did you just compete? I feel like you just did a grappling event.
Yeah, I fought in Brave.
No,
I did grappling against Bontorin. I lost by split decision. Bontorin, remember he fought in UFC before.
Yep.
And then I did 2 MMA fights, 1 karate combat, and now I have like wrestling. So right now, it's hard for me to get matchup. You will understand, like with big names. Big names, they don't want to risk. They're all about they want to go to UFC. But if you look on social media, they all call me out. But once time gets to paper, they're like, we want $300,000. They understand they're not gonna get paid that, but same time they don't say no. So right now I'm just fighting wherever who got in front of me, get my striking going with the hands, experience, earn money, invest into properties, and I just take advantages, just traveling around the world and competing.
Gotcha. Now, where's home? Like, where's home base? Where, do you still live with your mom and dad, or do you have a significant other? Where's home? Where does Mokaev lay his head down?
I have a baby like 3 years old, and basically I take family everywhere around the world, and I live in UK. I can come to Dagestan, sometimes in Dubai, just traveling wherever I want, and wherever I feel where's warm. Sometimes go to Thailand in the winter time. And wherever I feel good, I will travel. Doesn't matter to me. I'm a free agent.
Gotcha. And you said home is the UK. What part of the UK?
Wigan. It's
Wigan.
between Manchester and Liverpool.
Okay, we were just saying Keithley. You probably don't know the hell that's at. It's up by Manchester, but it's I think it's our west.
I see you
Manchester.
did a seminar there, right?
Yes, did a seminar there.
I seen it.
So what brought you to London? Like tell me your story. Like, how did you end up in London? Like, where were you born? Where'd you get started in mixed martial arts or in karate, or, is it Sambo? I don't know your origin, your origination.
In Dagestan, I started a little bit wrestling, maybe 2-3 weeks. And then I see the guys like getting picked to competition because of their father connections and stuff. And I never got picked because my father wasn't like big name or something. And, so I just moved to karate, did like karate, won 4 medals. And basically I'm from Dagestan, but I did karate. This is my background. And I moved to UK when I was 12 years old. And I started wrestling, to be honest. Started wrestling, and what I like about UK, they don't care about your race. They don't care about your wealthy or your parents like politician or something like this. They pick you if you're good. If you have talent, they will take care of you. And I just did wrestling, and I remember I did a MMA fight when I was 15 years old, amateur. We were selling tickets to get money. I want to buy school uniform, and that's how it continued.
Wow. So you were born in Dagestan, and then you joined into karate because you didn't get the opportunity to compete in Sambo or do any wrestling over there.
That's it. Because it's high level competition over here. So you have to be super, super, like, even if you're super talented, you must have connections also.
Wow. So that's kind of crazy because when everybody I didn't feel that your background was in karate. Even though you do take a kind of a karate stance, your wrestling's so good. Like, your transition and your jiu-jitsu is so good. I would have thought your background was in Sambo, you coming from Dagestan, but now knowing that you moved to the UK at a very young age, you started in karate. And when did you start karate, you said? You said 12 or 8?
I was about 8-9 years old when I started, but started wrestling when I was 12.
Gotcha. And the wrestling, was it American wrestling, like collegiate, or was it like Sambo or freestyle?
Freestyle, it was in UK, and I remember we went to London. There was army base, and we did folk style. First time I competed in folk style. It was crazy pace, like you cannot lock your hands and stuff like this. And
Yep.
it's similar to MMA, I would say. The pace of MMA, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I love about folk style. I'll never forget when I was wrestling in high school and the match started and I took a step back and the ref go beep. He goes, "Do not step back. If you step back again, I will call you for stalling. You're here to wrestle. Go forward." And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go forward. So the pace is a lot like mixed martial arts because, like you said, you can't lock your hands. You're always trying to break down the base, and it's constantly back and forth. And then I think the rounds are like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've been in high school and done any wrestling competition, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Now, when it came, so then once you started doing that, you did karate, then you moved into wrestling, and you had your first amateur fight. How many fights you have as an amateur before you got the big call to, was it your minor league, was it Brave or what was it?
Yeah, so I had the 23 amateur fights. It was the IMF tournaments. They had like 4 fights in 4 days. Like back to back, you have to make weight every day. So I didn't do the flyweight. I did bantamweight. It was 61.2 kilogram. And there was like Russians, Kazakhstan, and you don't know who you're gonna face. Basically, you don't even have time to watch them and learn about them. And some like a Russian guy, like he's actually in ONE UFC right now. He's like 9-0 professional who I fought like first fight in IMAFs, and it was crazy guys. Now I look at them, they're all professional fighters doing really good, and IMAFs is really hard. So I would say it gave me good experience. And then the Bellator offered me the contract, but I took Brave because Brave, between me and Brave have really good relationships. The Sheikh Khalid, his sponsors are Team KHK MMA in Bahrain, and I didn't have any contract, so they said wherever UFC call you, you're ready to go. And like I've been offered Contender Series. I said no, I want to go straight to UFC. And then I got offered again Contender Series. I said no, I want to go straight to UFC. And I said I deserve, because I have biggest amateur career in this game. And basically I was 6-0 when I joined UFC.
Wow, and all those amateurs, so when you said 23-0, those are all amateur, right? So 23-0, and were they all MMA, or did you do Muay Thai, kickboxing?
No, all MMA.
All MMA. So 23
all MMA. Yes, and then I did like some in between those. I could do like weekend gi, no gi competition. Sometimes lose, sometimes win. Just competing, get my mentality, because when you're coming to the arena, you're nervous and you like we're not hiding this. We are fighters, but we do get nervous. We do, especially when I was 18, 19 years old. I was like, I don't want to lose today. But sometimes you lose and you become actually better. And I was competing wrestling, jiu-jitsu, doing some intercoops in Muay Thai, just competing. I didn't care like about the results. I just competing, and people like used to tell me, listen, you are 23, as amateur, you compete in this local tournament, you might be ruining your name. I said, listen, nobody can ruin my name. I just compete. Doesn't matter. I lose, I win. I only get better. That's it.
Yeah, because those are all considered exhibitions. So it's not like a sanctioned event where it's like, I'm just here trying to get, feeling. You finally, and that's pretty cool to hear that you got offered the Dana White Contender Series 2 times and you turned it down. He was like, no, I don't want to go to Contender Series. I'm going straight to the UFC. Do you think, I don't want to say, do you think in hindsight, do you wish you would have fought in a Contender Series to get your hands a little bit better? Because, I mean, I feel like they're trying to change your style of fighting, even though you're so successful. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know this. I believe in this. I think if I actually, in my opinion right now in my career, if I go through Contender Series, they would take care of me more. I believe so. Like through the media side and stuff, like Dana gets crazy on when somebody wins on Contender Series, especially when I was 21 years old when I got signed with UFC. So I thought he'd be like, Dana, like, what does this kid 21 years old and all this? And they never do this to me when I was 7-0.
Probably because you're kicking everybody's ass, submitting everybody. And they're like, God damn, we need more. We need somebody who's going to knock people out. Would you go back to, so let's say you go do the wrestling thing, you win that, and then they're like, hey, we'll bring you back, but you have to go to the Contender Series. Will you go to Contender Series, or you go, no, I'm going straight to the UFC, guys. I'm fucking 7-0 in the UFC already. I'm not going to Contender Series.
No, doesn't matter what I've done. I apologized, but I'm not going that to contender series. Like, listen, I deserve to fight for the UFC flyweight belt, and guys who I beat, they're doing really good right now. So Joshua won getting title shot right now, but he got KO'd by Charles Johnson, who I took to the school, but he's my guy, but I showed them levels of my best.
He goes, Joshua Van. So, okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what's your thoughts on that matchup between Joshua Van versus Alex Pantoja. Like, what are your thoughts on it? Because that's the hardest thing, where your skill set is that you approach the fight where people, they can't survive. When you fought Mokaev, you kept on, you had him. You've always had him guessing, right? You throw the high kick, you try to take the takedown. He wasn't able to let his hands go, right? Mokaev hits hard. He moves fast. If I was to fight Mokaev right now, I would not stand with him either. He's too good there. He's good there, right? So you get heavy hands, right? So you always look at it where how can you beat somebody at their weakest spot? Not saying Mokaev isn't good on the ground, but he tends to use his hands. So when you look at Joshua Van versus Alex Pantoja, what do you think of that matchup?
Joshua got really good boxing. I like his boxing. I like his confidence at his age, because rare you can find those guys at 23, like on a big arena. Even like I watched, I see like Patchy Mix just had a debut in UFC, and he said it was big arena. He was a little bit wasn't focused, So some people losing this when they see the bright lights, and the kid is doing good. And I think Pantoja, even if he doesn't prepare for that fight, just cuts weight and turn up, I think he'll beat him. The experience of the level, and Pantoja is just like the daddy of the flyweight division till Mokaev comes back.
He said daddy. Okay, so you think Pantoja's gonna win even if he doesn't train? He's just got to show up and he's gonna beat him. That's what you're saying.
I think so. The experience level of once you grab just the one body lock of Joshua Van, his boxing, his tightness of the shoulders, and the second round. That's it. We've seen the qatar France, one of the best strikers in the flyweight division. We've seen what happened to him.
Yeah. I also feel, I agree with you with Van, how at a very young age, he lets his hands go. He gets in there, pulls his shorts up, and he throws these combinations. He does get hit a lot, but he also gives his own hits as well. When him and Brandon Royval fought, I thought Brandon let that fight get away from him with not using his experience level of mixing it up. I always tell people it's mixed martial arts. You're not doing yourself any favors of not utilizing the other realms of mixed martial arts, right? And that's one thing I felt like Brandon Royval let get away from him. Where we see Pantoja, he likes to use all realms of martial arts. So do you as well. Where Van, I'm starting to not come around, but I'm starting to like respect that he's like, okay, I can grapple, I can kick, I can do all this stuff, but I don't care to grapple. I don't care to hug people. I just want to knock people out. It's great. So I think it'll be a great fight between those two guys. I think Pantoja is going to battle adversity in that fight just because I feel Van is going to not respect him and he's going to get his hands off. You know what I mean? Van's like, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind. I'm 23. If I lose in 10 years, you think about it.
I'll come back and take the belt, yeah.
Well, you'll be, but you'll be 35. He'll be 33. Pantoja's going to be 45. I'm not coming back, right? So I feel you guys are like the new generation that's coming through. And it's kind of crazy to think like you'll be 25 and you're 7-0 in the UFC. You have more wins in the UFC than a lot of the flyweights who are on the roster right now, and you're not in the organization. That's just fucking crazy when I say that.
I believe one day, like if I get a couple good finishes, put my hands together, I think they'll sign me back. There's nothing like between me and UFC like bad blood, and I think people don't worse stuff than what I did. And I I did it against the professional fighter. I didn't do who couldn't protect himself, So
I understand that, because you look at Conor McGregor.
I didn't run pregnant woman over, so.
I didn't say it. I agree with you. I don't know. I hope between you and Manel, I hope you guys smash that beef. I hope you guys can move forward. You guys are professional athletes.
Fine. I message him. Listen, whatever I've done, I message him. Our group, since that happened, our group a lot. Even I have little bit sometimes ego, but I messaged Manok. I said, listen, whatever happened between me and you from my side, I apologize. Even after the fight, I shook his hand when he lost, and I could continue brawl in the cage because I already knew I getting cut, So, listen.
You're like, I'm done. I'm out of here. That's just, like, imagine that. Imagine 7-0, and you're gonna get cut. Like, fans, listen to this again. I'm 7-0 in the UFC. I just won my 7th fight consecutively, and I'm going to get cut. That's a thought process that somebody who's fucking 1-3 or 0-4 or there's it just blows my mind to think like that, right? It's unfortunate, but I think maybe it's good for you, because the one thing I've always I see you, I follow your interviews, and I pick up pieces you say. You don't have to fight. You've made investments in buying houses, right? So talk to me about that. Where did that mindset come from? Like, what did you do with your money? Because obviously you made these investments where you're able to travel around the world and compete, bring your wife and kid with you.
Yeah, so basically, I'm not like from rich family. I grew up in, like, I came to UK 12 years old, living in refugee center. Then I moved to like council estate, living in council house, never had my own home, traveling. And then like the council can say, hey, you have to move to new house because this house like to somebody else, and then packing stuff and moving to new area. So I'm from that side, and I never had my like corner in a house, So once first money from UFC, I bought a house in UK. And then I just invest wherever I earn. I invest everything to rent out and getting money. Now I'm building the training center in Dagestan. I'm building, and not like for people. So I can do the camps there. Bring my people, my team, do the camps. We got like a UFC size octagon, and the gym, the pool, recovery center. So I invest also. I bought 1 Bitcoin, so I'm waiting for it. It goes crazy. Yeah.
And you have rental properties. How many do you have? Because I remember like when we talked off camera, you say you have like, you're like, dude, I don't need the money. I want to be a UFC champion. I'm working towards that. And for somebody who's 23, 24, or you're about to be 25, they're just trying to they don't make investments. They don't make, good money. But for you were able to do that at such a young age. Go on, explain yourself. Like I said, like when I was 23, 24, I was like, all right, I'm working at Red Lobster. I'm going to hang gutters. I got to find, I wasn't making investments at that time, even though I came from a poor background, right? Like, I grew up in section low income housing.
Constructions, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, we would always have to, I was military background, so we would move around. But then once we got to this one house, every 2 months or every quarter, they would come and check to make sure the house was clean, if there was no holes in the wall. And okay, you guys can continue to stay here, but you guys don't own this house. And so then I moved out. But when I finally moved out, I didn't have the mindset to buy my own house yet. I couldn't afford to buy my own house yet, to be honest with you. So, but for you to be able to buy your house once you get your first check and then to invest it, I find that, I'm kind of amazed at 24, 25, you've made those investments where you're like, I don't need to fight. I want to be a UFC champion.
Yes. Right now, if I finish career today, DJ, I just could sit and just enjoy the life. But now, basically, I made money work for me. And because I knew one day UFC, the fame, the money like that you collect, it's not forever. So imagine I get kicked out from UFC and now I'm not receiving anything. And while I was in UFC, I would buy cars, watches, party, everything, and then I'll be working somewhere right now. I wouldn't be chilling and enjoying. I already was stressed when I got caught from UFC, and I had like crazy stress but imagine if also I needed work to find a job and stuff like this, and that would be like crazy something. Like I wouldn't be able to train, but now I can go back on the road, invest everything in myself now, the money I'm receiving, and building myself as a better fighter and show the world why I'm the best flyweight right now.
I love it. That's crazy. Because now if you do come back, when you do come back, not if, when you do come back, I think you'll be more prepared because now you have we have a guy, you know who MMA Guru is. He talks about you all the time.
Yeah.
MMA Guru always talks about when athletes start making money, they can put more money into their camps to make themselves a better version, right? And I
Ilia,
think
topuria, those are amazing right now.
Yeah, exactly. He has his own training at his house, recovery center at his house, everything at his house. So when he needs to do a pad session or a grappling session, or I need to recover, he can go do that. And Topuria is 28, 29, you're going to be 25. So for you're almost you're laying the foundation. So when you do come back, you're going to be even better. And I think your hands are fine. I just think a couple of not bad matchups, but a couple of tough opponents who would take a hit more than you want to take a hit. And you're like, I'm not playing that. I did the exact same thing, right? Like I wasn't going to, I was not going to strike with somebody who's had heavier hands than me. I was like, it's not happening. I don't want CTE and brain concussions.
Yeah, imagine I go out against Manuel, getting knocked out and getting caught. That would be bad, DJ.
Yeah, that'd been bad. I mean, it's a strategy. It's a game, right? It's sometimes, the person, I always tell people like, when I watched, I watched the last fight, I watched Joshua Van versus Pantoja. Everybody was like, man, that was fight of the night, da-da-da-da. I was like, it was two guys, going back and forth, hitting, I hit you, you hit me, I hit you, I hit me. And for me, I enjoyed watching, the main event, Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria, and even the Beneil Dariush versus Manny Moicano, just because I like to see the full scale of mixed martial arts. I like to see the grappling. I like to see, he took him down. He does a switch. He's going for a heel hook. The fans, they're not educated to understand how hard that shit is. They don't understand, what's at stake. If I make the wrong turn during a heel hook, I can blow out my ACL, MCL, LCL, and PCL. They don't understand that. But everybody does understand. I hit him with my fist, he hits me back. They understand that. So for me, I like to see the full spectrum of mixed martial arts. If I want to watch boxing, I'll watch boxing. If I want to watch kickboxing, I'll watch kickboxing. But for me, I like MMA because you have the option to go to different tiers of a fight game, where those ones, you're stuck. When I watch Muay Thai, I'm like, you guys are beating the shit. I literally, when I watch, I'm like, you guys are beating the shit at each other, and you're all gonna have CTE. When I watch kickboxing, you're literally beating the shit out of each other, unless I see a guy like, Petrosian or, Ernesto Hoos or even Krokop back in the K1 days. You see, they get offline, they throw it's like more technical, where you don't really see that type of kickboxing or Muay Thai nowadays, right? You have you have Jonathan Haggerty, you have those guys, but they're stuck in that realm. They have to fucking fight. When you're in MMA, you don't have to slugfest with anybody. So why do it, right? So for me, I like your style. It's different. You're mixing it up. You're playing. Everybody's playing checkers. You're playing chess, where it's like I'm not. So I just
they can also blame the guys who've been in UFC for 10 years and ask them why you still not knock Mokaev out if he's got shitty striking,
That's a great point. That's a great fucking point.
That's it. So if I go shit striking, pay them extra and say you're gonna go knock Mokaev out, we give you a 10-fight deal contract with $10 million. That's it. That's it. Why blaming everything on me? You know, and
Oh, I fucking love that. I was like, oh, he's got shitty striking. Knock him out. I'll give you 50 G's if you knock him out. Okay, good luck.
that's it. Like against Team Elliot, I was like on the scorecard, I was losing 2 rounds, but in my opinion, I was 1-1 between him, and it was technical. A lot of people talk about this fight, and the technical fight, I liked it. I like against Team Elliot, and he's one of the best flyweights in the world. I would believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always cracks me up just because we talk about stance, we talk about styles, we talk about, what makes fights. And that's, once again, I always feel that nobody should have to change their style of fighting if they're winning. Like, now, if you're getting knocked out and then you're getting submitted and shit like that, then I'm like, okay, I think it would be beneficial for you to change your style. But the fact that you're, beating everybody and undefeated, it doesn't make sense. So, okay.
In my opinion, I think all this situation changed me as a person as well, better way. I sit down, I look around, who is around with me, what's going on with my career, with my life, and like I was 7 fights back to back in UFC. I was like just in the fog, like just straight for the belt. Now I sit down, calm down, and it made me a group. I think mentally a group. I think something for better.
Gotcha. Were you hanging around with, you said you look around and you look at your group that you're with. Were you hanging around people who had bad influences on you, or were you just a wild boy and just like, fuck it, we're just gonna, you punch me, I'm gonna punch you back. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Yes, to be honest, there were a couple of people that would say, do this, do that, and then when I got in trouble, they disappeared. And guess what? I stayed with my own problem. But it rather see those people in this situation rather getting trouble and like getting in jail or somewhere else. This is nothing compared to what people going through in the life.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, I want to switch gears. When you finally made that transition out of the UFC, you went to karate combat. How was that experience? Like, when you went there, how was it, getting picked up? And was it was a 1-fight deal? Talk to me about that journey of you like, okay, well, I left the UFC undefeated. Now I'm going to go do karate combat.
No, first fight was brave. It was brave. I had a good opponent. I think he was like 14-1 or something like this. It was good. He pulled out like 1 week before the fight. And then they brought me some guy and I finished him. And then I got into karate combat. And just want to do some striking experience and show what my striking is. Like when I know in my head I cannot grapple, I did striking, but and then I did another MMA fight. They gave me main event in Dubai, and just experience, brother. Just experience. I think.
Gotcha. Well, I know you're gonna make it back. It's just frustrating to hear the fact that like that whole situation, besides the fact that whatever happened behind the scenes between you and Mokaev and the negotiation with the UFC, but the fact that they've let an athlete who's undefeated 7-0 go away, maybe it's a perfect business tactic, where it's like, hey, well, let's let him go. He'll get better hands, and then hopefully you'll come back back to the UFC and try to compete with them and fight for the belt. Have you ever thought about trying to fight anywhere else, like PFL or One Championship?
You said from business tactics. I think they made me more popular from coaching me than I was fighting in UFC. And I think when I come back, I think I'll be like next Brando Moreno, getting caught and taking the title. I think maybe from the marketing side, I think something better for my career. Imagine when I come back, how much noise you're gonna make.
Well, I think when you come back, I think everybody's gonna scratch their head of like, where the fuck, people are gonna ask what happened. That's where I agree with you. It's gonna be a great marketing strategy, but for me or anybody else, people are like, how's the guy 7-0 in the UFC and then he disappears and he comes back? Like, what happened? Like, where's this guy been the whole time?
They just give him a lesson, maybe. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. They're gonna make the uncle then are gonna make something. They just say,
You'll make something up.
yeah, they're just gonna say he was a bad guy that time. Now he changed. That's it.
Well, I think people are like, can he still be the bad guy? Because we need story. I think it gives a perfect storyline when you come back where he like, it'd be good if he was like, imagine Danny goes, he was just too good. Like we couldn't let him stay because he was too good. He kept on beating everybody. Or like how Guru said. Guru says, you side Muhammad Mokaev, and I'll just send assassin after assassin after assassin to try to take him out. Play the bad guy role. And then you just keep beating him. You keep beating him. You keep beating him. And the next thing you know, it's like, you know, I'm the good guy. Dana White sent all the assassins after me. I took them all out. They're just not good enough. They're not, there's levels to this game. And obviously they're not on my level. I like that storyline better. That's a good storyline right there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too. I just have main thing from my side, just to get better, to stay active on the media, stay active in the competition, not just like most fighters getting caught from UFC and they just like disappear and thinking they'll never come back. It's just in my head, everything is possible in this life. Just keep doing from my side, so I don't reject when I be 30 years old.
Gotcha. Now, why not go to like another bigger organization? Why not go to like PFL, or I know you're at Brave, but I don't know if Brave is on the same level of, you know, I don't want to say global. I guess you say global, like one championship and PFL is.
I was so close to get into 1 million. It's 500,000 tournament right now. So they call me 10 days. It was about April, I think May time. I can't remember. It was after Ramadan this year. They said 10 days notice to step in. Magomedov pulled out to step in, but they couldn't get working visa on time. So
and that was
close.
That was in PFL?
PFL World Tournament 135, and then there was Magomedov pulled out. Then there was a Tajikistan guy, 16-0. He couldn't get his visa. There was from other side Kasumov. He got injured, but he still fought and he lost. So it was the tournament. I was like, I just have to get in and take the belt. That's it. It was like all the high level guys just gone.
That was the one that I think Sergio Pettis and Rafael Stashes fought in, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Gotcha. But if you would have did that, was that contract going to lock you in for a long time, or was it just a tournament thing and you get to go for free?
You know, I tell straight to organization without lies. Like they know that there's something between me and UFC, but they don't know how high the beef is or how low. In my opinion, it's very low. But from outside, people think I'll never come back and stuff. And I tell to organizations straight away, like ONE FC offered me and they said like 6-fight deal contract. I said, no, if you give me one fight, I'll come. If not, I've got a lot of tournaments, a lot of events who offers me like big money and the big arenas, like Europe, like Arab countries. And I don't want to look in, never. Like if we go back when I was 23 and as amateur 0-0 as a professional, Bellator offered me more money than Brave, but I picked Brave so I can go to UFC.
So you know, at the end of the day, you wanted to be why? But if you're making good money, because there's been athletes, for example, the gentleman, I forget the gentleman's name. He came into a Dana White's Contender Series. He's got a win over Alex Pereira, and he beat everybody in Contender Series. They offered him that might be him. I'm not sure.
From UK featherweight?
No. Alex Pereira, light heavyweight. He beat him in K1 a long time ago, but he got the opportunity to fight in the UFC, but they offered him not very good money. He goes, I'm not taking that. So he stayed away. I don't know what he's doing now. It's kind of funny. Like these athletes come into the UFC, they offer them the money and they say no, and then they just disappear. And that's one of the things that you cannot take away from the UFC is that it is
the kickboxer.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Russian guy I know who you mean, yeah.
Yeah, where UFC is such a marketing machine that when you come and you fight for the platform, it just amplifies your name, right? You look at Andrew Tackett. Now my kids know who Andrew Tackett is. It's the gentleman who's a BJJ welterweight champion. He didn't want to come to the UFC because he was like, the money wasn't good. But for you you're making great money outside of the UFC, but you still want to get back in there. Is that just for your goal just to be a world champion in the UFC? Or you're like, actually, the money's better inside the UFC?
The money, I think depends who wants what in the life. I want UFC belt, and that's the main thing. Like money, I was getting paid in UFC, and I still like it wasn't because of the flyweight division. They getting different money to lightweights, and so because there are bigger stars, I would say there's levels to division. Maybe it's not fair, but it's better than the closed division. They rather give at least money what they have rather than they close the division. No, so from the side, I understand them, but still, I was fighting in UFC. I was still investing and did what I need to do in my life. So I wasn't complaining about that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always interested because you see athletes, they just want to get back in the UFC. You see some athletes like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to stay outside and collect all these checks everywhere else and not fight in the UFC. And I think, there's a lot of athletes out there like Fedor Emelianenko, Krokop. I mean, he came eventually, but I think Krokop didn't have to come to the UFC because he was so good outside of the UFC. You've seen a lot of athletes in mixed martial arts who never fought inside the UFC who are considered still to be one of the best athletes to ever do it in mixed martial arts.
It is possible. But I'll see what the plan is. I think I'm gonna win a couple more fights, and I wanna sit down with UFC and talk to them because I want to see what's next in my career, and I believe there's a chance to me to come back and take the belt. And I believe only guy. I don't say I'm gonna run past the Pantoja. Pantoja is one of the toughest opponent, but I have trained with him, and I don't see anything special. Like what I would say, he's similar to Tim Elliott, but just Pantoja is more consistent with his training, with his like mentality. Whereas Tim Elliott sometimes like just come out for fun, just strikes wherever goes. If I win, I win. If I don't win, I don't win. Like a different mentality. Whereas Tim Elliott, when he fought you 2017, he was more hunger. He had more hunger. Now he's like family, training, partying, and all this. So by the skill side, like it's all about how you prepare, how you put your performance, how you go switch with your mind inside the octagon on the day of the fight. That's what most important. By today, Joshua one throws same jab as I throw. He knows how to defend the leg attacks, but the IQ in the octagon works differently.
I love that. Now with you're a free agent, so you're not tied to anybody right now.
No. Now I've been offered to fight for Brave CF belt as well. So like flyweight, bantamweight, wherever I want, and I will decide now.
Gotcha. I don't know if you have like a contract with anybody, but each time, no matter who it is, you have a good relationship with Brave. So you come, fight, leave, come, fight, leave. If you go to Brave, become a world champion, bantamweight, flyweight. If UFC calls, they're like, you can go. Go ahead, go.
I never signed any paper outside of UFC with any other organization.
Oh,
like
wow.
Even like just 1 fight deal, 2 fight deal, no deal. Just me and good relationship and loyalty. For my side, I have to make weight and tune up to the event, and they know I'm a man of the word. 38 fights, never pulled out from the fight, and never missed weight as well.
Good for you. That's very risky. I'm assuming you do sign a contract so you do get paid, right?
It is risky, but it is risky, but I will find them.
I fucking love that, man. It's you see it nowadays. Everybody's talking about, non-exclusive or exclusive contracts, right? It's not in the US, not in mixed martial arts, because I think every organization now, they have that exclusivity, right? If you fight for one, you're exclusive in mixed martial arts. You fight for PFL, UFC, you're exclusive. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's still some places where you can go around, be a free agent, and go to these different ones and compete. Where for you, you're kind of in this, this free agency where it's like, I can go fight at Brave. I can go fight at PFL. I'm not signing a contract. I fight at one. I'm not signing a contract. Nobody's going to let you do that. You're too high profile who's not locked down. So you have this freedom to go wherever you want and collect checks everywhere, but you ain't signing nothing. So I hope obviously you got paid. And it's kind of interesting to hear your mindset on that. Like, you're like a Ryu where you're just going around getting all this experience. So when you do get back to the UFC, you're that much more prepared, even though I think you were prepared, but we would never know because you didn't get the opportunity to stay and keep on competing.
Yep. Yeah. Like stylistically, like, if you remember when I fought Alex Perez, on that card, Steven Ercik fought Matt Schnell. And basically,
Matt Schnell, yep. All right.
Yeah, basically there was Matt Schnell, he's like 7-9 in UFC or something like this.
Yeah, he just retired. I remember he lost. He took his gloves off. He goes, "I'm fucking done. Fuck this sport."
Yeah, it's about time. Yeah. So yeah,
you fucking.
I'm realistic. You know, once.
Yeah. I agree.
Once you beat your wins, you must do something about your career. You know, like it's either you get brain damage. So I'm talking about from the health side. So on that card we fought in Las Vegas, there was Alex Perez against me and Steven Ercik for the Matt Schnell. So basically I put performance that UFC didn't like against Alex Perez, who's like title contender. Yep. Ex-title contender, who's like one of the best right now in the division as well, like his skills. And then Steven Ercik knocks out Matt Schnell and basically he's getting title shot. So by the results and the skills, if the switch of the opponents maybe be something different, you know. So sometimes I get ugly matchups that didn't let me to show my skills.
Yeah. Well, it's always everybody's path to a title shot is always going to be different, right? I mean, let's take an example. You look at Merab's path to get a title shot. He went crazy champion after champion, Peter Yan, Jose
Habib
Aldo,
did same,
Habib did the same thing. Then you look at, Sean O'Malley, he never went through the same killer's row like Merab did, right? But then once Merab got to Sean, Merab beat Sean, then he beats Umar, then he beats Sean again. And I think it's just how, it's something.
Maybe because Merab doesn't have pink hair.
Oh, God, no, I don't think that. I just think there's something. I just think, once again, it's not a sport. It's more of entertainment. It's more of like
business.
It's a business. It's like, who's going to sell the best? And let's not worry about if you're good or not. Like I said, that's the hardest thing that I've always had a hard time in this sport. When I was in the UFC, when I was a flyweight, when I was on, 7-8 fight win streaks, and then it's like, oh, you're not selling pay-per-views. And it's like, guys, I'm the fucking best in the world. I'm knocking people out. I'm submitting people. And I truly felt like it wasn't the UFC. I just felt like the fans didn't really care. You know what I mean? Like the fans, because you think about it, like if everybody was like, no, I want to see Mokaev fight. Even, you're 7-0, they probably want to let you go. Where I felt like the flyweight division has always had that problem with trying to cater to the masses of the viewership. You know what I mean? Which I think it kind of hurts us. It hurts the sport aspect of mixed martial arts in the end of it, right? Because you don't have the best athletes on the roster. You have the athletes that people want to see fight, which sells pay-per-view. It's a weird fucking relationship when it comes to the UFC and mixed martial arts.
Yep. I heard like Dana want to close that division because of that, but Mick basically saved the division and said, listen, let me deal with it and I'll keep it excited. So at least they keep the flyweight. At least they keep flyweight division, because right now I can't go to bantamweight division also. I can't fight bantam, but I have to bulk up a little bit. And I think bantamweights are stylistically easier to me than flyweights, because flyweight is hard. I believe so. I sparred with so many bantamweights who's like against like Peter Yan, like Said Nurmagomedov. I trained with a lot of like Timur Valiyev, and I remember, and I think stylistically for me, bantamweight easier to me than I'm a much faster fighter at the bantamweight. Whereas at the flyweight, I cut so much weight, and basically sometimes I don't have that power where I feel this power in the bantamweight.
So why not just go bantamweight then?
If they send me contract at 135, I'll go fight bantamweight.
Wow. So you can do both if you want. You can do triple C. You go down there, win the belt at flyweight, and then go up to 135 and win the belt. You be on the wall with one of the greats, triple C.
I said I have advantage of my age, and by the time I come back and take back to the rankings, they're all gonna be like 35, 36, so.
Is it hard for you to make 125, even if you have time to make it?
Against Manel Cape, I think 10 minutes before the weigh-ins closed, I came. It was really difficult. I'm tall, and I have like 178 centimeters reach, and I think it is hard, but I never missed. So
gotcha. Yeah, you're gonna be 25. You're gonna be 135 because as you get older, you're gonna get stronger. Your muscle gonna get more denser. You're gonna get bigger. You're gonna go 135. You're like an Ilia topuria where it's hard for him, very very hard for him to make 145. Now he's fighting 155. He goes, I feel great. Like now I touch people's head and they explode. So I feel for you. If you're having a hard time making 125 now, give yourself 5 more years of training consistently. You're not going to want to make that weight class anymore. You'll be at 135. So maybe that's your true calling is 135 instead of 125.
Yeah, and a lot of people watch that division as well, than flyweight.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, shit, Mokaev. I mean, the producer's gone. You've answered. I always wanted to talk to you because, like I said, when you left the UFC, I was like, WTF, what the hell happened? And to hear your story about, coming from Dagestan and you leaving early as a kid, starting karate, absolutely amazing, right? I don't like to read up on not my opponents. I don't like to read up on my guests, or I want to hear it from your mouth because now I can see why, like, I never had my own house. I'm going to get my own fucking house. Congrats to you, man. The floor is yours. Is there anything you want to let the fans know how they can support you, what you got coming up next? The floor is yours, brother.
Thank you, brother. I just want to thank all my team, KHK MMA, the in Bahrain, and I'm actually watching your fight live against Team Elliot when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how crazy I'm a big fan of the sport. So, like, I just wake up and watch every single UFC fights when like at the night and trying to thinking like I never bet in my life, but I'm betting sometimes this guy gonna win by TKO right in my pen paper and just I'm a big fan of this sport, man. I'm a big fan.
Here, before I let you go, what would you say was my biggest weakness? Like you growing up, I'm retired now. What would you say my biggest weakness was when you watch me? And be honest. Be honest. Like if I was to fight Demetrious, this is what I would have done to him.
As I spoke to Brad Pickett 2019. 2020, it was lockdown, COVID. We trained with Nathaniel Wood, and I said, "How do you think I can beat Demetrious Johnson? You're still active." And I'm thinking about. I never even have professional.
I passed it across. Yeah.
No, even I was 0-0 at the professional, and I'm looking at Demetrious Johnson.
You're like, how can I beat him?
Yeah, because I trained with him, and he said, wrestle, and I think then I start rewatching the fights. I think body lock, just control your back and but it's hard because you're so fast, man. It's first to get to you so close because you move so much. It's difficult, man. So just have to keep you like guessing. You similar to Manel Cape on the feet, like your footwork similar, like very twitchy muscles. So it's very high risk to shoot without high level setup. You have to fake it a lot, fake it, set up, and by the time you fake it and set up, the 5 minutes goes and fans are gonna boo, so.
Here's a question. Do you think your style would be better off in a 10-minute round? As like, you remember in Pride where it was, okay, 10-5, it would be 10-5, and then championship, I think it was 10-5-5. So do you think your style be better in a 10-minute round? Because like you said, in a 5-minute round, especially 3 rounds, that's a sprint. That is truly a sprint. When you get to 25 minutes, you can work it. You can start getting your juices going, and you can submit them in the 3rd or 4th or 5th round. But when you have the first round, you're, okay, okay, I'm still trying to set it up. Beep. 1 minute break. You go again. You finally land what you're trying to do, and it's the middle of the second round, and the next you know, round's over. Third round, it's like, oh, well, I got to do it. It's like, do you think you've been better off in a 10-minute round?
3 fights in UFC, 3 finishes in the third round I have.
Yep.
So I just start like feeling good. Like imagine after the fight, I'm jumping on the cage, giving interviews.
Yep.
So it shows I have still got the energy. So even in the gym, sometimes when we wrestling, I out wrestle guys later in the round.
Yep.
Later, I'm like a marathon runner, you know.
Yep.
And maybe sometimes I need to take risk in the first rounds, but guess what? I'm gonna maybe slow down because I take everything energy out. I rather win. Maybe sometimes it gets bored, but win is a win, you know. So I think you are right. You are right about that. The later rounds, we get even better.
Yeah, because as we talk, I feel like you're so systematically where you are. I feel like your IQ is kind of like mine, where you're in there, you're watching, you're seeing what he's gonna do, and then you start to apply, you start to test your theory inside of the cage, and then if things start to work, correctly, then you start to build on it, build, and then eventually you catch him, then you finish him. But if your opponent's always changing that data, then you're like always second guessing yourself, and then you never get to that end point. You don't get hurt, you don't get injured, but you never get that finish. But if you do take the risk, then you won't be able to come back from that risk. You might get hurt, you might get cut, or you might gas yourself out. So it's a very interesting problem that you have to solve for yourself as you're going through this journey right now outside of the UFC. So maybe,
And I never had the fight game plan. I never had in my life. Never. We will never sit down with the team. I'm gonna shout this. I'm gonna shout this after 1 minute 36. I just tell them, just tell me the time. That's it. I don't do anything else.
Why not sit down and game plan? Because I never was a big fan of that. But then now in my career, well, I'm not in my career anymore, but now I can understand why I did it, because my body would react totally different. But for you, why didn't you never want to sit down and, are you going to fight Tim Elliott? Okay, Tim Elliott does X, Y, and Z. This is what we need to do. Stay away from this. And then when I say X, Y, and Z, you do this. Why did you never do it?
I don't know. I just watch the opponents. I remember when Tim Elliott, he does like, he lifts front leg and he skips. You remember? He does, he, like, so you don't calf kick him. And I faked it, and I see he lifted up, and so I kicked the back of his knee, of the back foot. So then he stopped with that. Hello.
You want to say hi? No, you shy? No, we can't. I'm working right now. Hey, get out of here. Where's your mama?
Dad, she's gone.
What? Okay,
Dad,
well.
she's dead. Working.
Okay, give me 20 minutes. Yep, 20 minutes. Now. 5, 4. Go. I apologize, Mohammed.
It's good. Good. I have daughter too. They're crazy.
Yes, they are. They just, I tell you. No, I agree with you. Do you think now moving forward, will you be focused more on watching tape and like strategizing towards your opponents, or are you still going to go in there and just let your mind do what it's going to do?
Now I have to put the performance that people want to see. I probably have to step up with the game and step up with my recovery, like Ilia Topuria does, and I'm really motivated to develop my game. Now I cannot stay same level. I have to develop, so I will try something different. But out of all fights, like I said, I'll just walk inside the octagon and do whatever I could do.
Hey, well, I love it, man. I love it. Boys, once again, let people know how they can support you, your social media. Drop it.
Just M57.
What does M57 mean? Mokaev 57. What is that?
It's 57 our flyweight division. And I've got like car register plate and stuff,
57 kilograms. Okay. kg. Okay. Well, boys.
US is 125, right?
Yes, 125. That's what I usually do when I'm playing games. I'll go like Mighty X 125. But I'm gonna start doing Mighty 57 because it's 57 kg. Because a lot of people don't do 57, so I like that. That's nice and smooth.
Yeah. I've got like register plate M57 and all this, so just like a branding but I never done like a brand clothes, but in the future I will.
Hey, I love it. MK57. Okay, boys. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the MIGHTYcast, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live, and make sure you guys go support my man who's on a journey trying to make his way back to the UFC. He has he has a wrestling match coming up. Just go to social media, MK57, and he will let you know how you guys can watch that. As always, I'm your host, Mitch Johnson. The producer is out doing his own thing. Not sure what he's doing. And our guest today was Mokaev. We'll see you guys in the next episode of the MIGHTYcast. Jiu-jitsu, I try to do chest tries, back and buys, and abs and obliques. I try to do the whole upper body. It's about beach body, baby. Beach body.
Come on, man. Get that 8-pack going. That's crazy. It's got to be a weird thing, though, right? Because you used to be in the game, used to have fights, and then now that you're retired, I wonder how that changed for you. It's a crazy thought process, actually. I've thought a lot about that myself, too, just being done with the streaming stuff, and like how it's going to change my life in my everyday,
Well, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
on,
to another episode of the MIGHTYcast. We're adjourned by my man, Nick, a.k.a. Mercs. Nick, welcome to the MIGHTYcast, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time we spoke to each other in person was the only time we ever spoke to each other in person was back when Fortnite was booming. When it was
2018, 2017.
No, I felt like it was.
Yeah, man.
Was it?
It was a pro-am in where were we, man?
We're in California.
Were we?
Yes, you were. Who was your teammate? Because you're the professional gamer, and then you were
Andre Drummond, basketball player.
Yes,
and I remember the three of us got together and look, man. I don't want to talk shit to you, but he was 8 feet tall, and then you were like 5'3", and then I'm like 5'11". I'm like, yo, this is insane, man. I'm going like this. I'm going like this. Like, oh my god, man, wild.
Yeah,
what a crazy thing.
Well, it's crazy how big Fortnite was at that time, because I felt like it was the only game that brought people from different, avenues together, right? You had me, professional mixed martial artist. I was a champion at the time. You had the basketball player. You had Sean O'Malley, he was playing with Marshmallow. Then you had Marshmallow, who was a DJ. It was the only game. I don't think there's ever been another game in the history of video games that's brought that many people together.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that. Yeah, that was a big bridge. I don't know what it was. It just had everybody super comfortable to like collaborate. And for the first time in a long time, there wasn't like this bad view on being a gamer. You know what I mean? Like just a little nerd, People were like kind of proud to be a gamer.
Well, it's
for the first time ever. It was weird, man.
Well, I just think you say that's very interesting, because me growing up, I played games my whole life, and I was always considered a nerd that was super athletic. But I was going through Instagram, and the weekend he was playing fucking Donkey Kong Country 2. Between his he did his show, and then on Instagram he was playing Diddy Kong 2, and I'm like, my wife, she understands now about gaming, how it's my coping skills. It gives me an escape from, life. When you got 3 kids, a wife, the YouTube, I don't stream as much as I used to, but it's like, this is the only space I can go to and be Captain America and put up 44 and 5 in Marvel Rivals. That's the only space. That's the only space, right? Just give me this.
I hear it, dude. I hear it. Just get away from it all, man. Totally. And there's so many athletes that do that. I mean, you guys just beat the shit out of your bodies 24/7. You're banged up. You don't want to go home and be super active, right? You want to chill out and relax. And I mean, gaming's a great way to do that, typically.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely.
That's why it's a great combination with a lot of athletes, and that's something that I've learned throughout my career. Man, I just couldn't. I was so blown away at how many athletes were into my stream and would watch and would participate. And then I started gaming with them. I met you. I met a bunch of basketball players, NFL players, and it's just mind blowing, man. There's been so many of those moments where it's like, oh, you watch me, dude, I watch you. What the hell is going on, man? This is insane. Wow. What kind of world are we living in? This is wild,
Yeah.
Because growing up, gaming, you just never, I mean, I've been in this thing forever, bro. Like forever, ever. And we never. You can ask anybody that's been in gaming forever, and they'll always tell you. At least they should tell you that we never saw it being like this.
Yeah.
We're just having fun, man. We're doing what you were doing. We're just having fun. We're gaming with our homies, and it was a good time, you know. And then it just kind of blew up, man. The internet blew up. There were a couple of things that accelerated all that, but wow. To see the place that it's in today, to see everything that I have because of gaming and everything, the way I live my life is wild.
Well, let's go back to the beginning, right? Like, I know you started, I felt the one thing that you've done a lot of amazing things in your career in gaming, but I felt the one thing that kind of like elevated you, in my opinion, was that you were a controller player. You refused to go to mouse and keyboard, right? You're like, guys, don't worry about me. Like, I'm good, But take me to the very beginning of your career. What age you started playing video games? What was that first game that you started playing? Tell me, enlighten me, what is your story?
It's funny, man. We grew up. I had a lot of friends on the block. We'd all get together at my friend Tim's house. Actually, not Tim the Tap Man, but I had a different friend named Tim, and he was an only child, and he had all the games. I mean, he got everything, bro. He get both PlayStation and the Xbox, all the fun games, the controllers. So we'd all go to his house, and that's where it would go down, man. I mean, like, we just, at a super young age, man, I just kind of knew I was beating him up, man. I mean, I was beating him up. It was bad. I mean, I didn't even need a screen peek or nothing, man. I was beating the shit out them. And like, all my friends knew it too.
Yeah.
And then when Xbox Live came out, that's when it really flipped the switch, because now you can play. Now it's not just the block. You can play against the world.
Do you think?
That was when it got weird, man. Life got weird then.
Yeah. Do you think so? Your very first system was Xbox, right? And you guys were playing them.
No. What was my first system? The Genesis, maybe.
Okay.
I was like 4 years old or 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
I got like a home clip of me and my dad were playing, and my dad's like, "You think you can beat me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can beat you." He's like, "What? You think you can beat me?" I'm like, "I'm the best." He's like, "You're not the best." I'm like, "I'm the best." And I'm like 4 years old doing that shit,
Wow.
So from a young age, man, I just knew that I was really good at it.
Damn. And then so you went to Xbox and Xbox Live. That's where you knew it was like, okay. And what was the choice of game in Xbox? Was it Halo? Was it Gears of War? Let
me back up a little bit. We went from like, the Genesis to like, there was the GameCube.
Yep.
There was the N64. Remember GoldenEye and Perfect Dark Zero? Yeah, the greatness. And then I went to PlayStation, the first one, and then PS2. And PS2 had an online thing.
Yep.
And I got busy on there for a while. And then I went to Xbox Live. The first game that I got my hands on there was Unreal Championship. And it was really straightforward, man. Just you pick it, you got a couple different guns, a couple different guys with abilities and stuff, and you just on a team and you're playing. And there was this clan, R4, and they were really, really good, but they were older. But I was good and I wanted to be on their team. So they let me be on the team, and I would just do work, man, but they didn't want to talk to me because I was so young. But I just be carrying the shit out of them, but they don't want to say anything to me, and that was when competitive gaming just took off, man. And then I remember Gears of War came out. Well, like there was Halo. We were playing Halo, but I was a little bit too young for tournaments then. But that was when I was seeing like the Ogre, like Ogre 1 and Ogre 2. They were winning all those MLG tournaments. I remember thinking like, man, I'm all right. I could maybe go fuck around with that. And then Gears of War came out, and that changed everything. I went up to the GameStop. I wasn't old enough to get to buy the game. You had to be, maybe you had to be 18.
It was 16, I think, 18, because it was like rated mature or whatnot.
Rated M for mature. But the GameStop dude was mad cool with me, so he let me slide.
Yeah.
I rode up on that Haro bike. I said, "I got $60 for you right now, man. Come on, man." So he hooked me up. I went back. I started playing Gears of War, and man, it was just like so easy, so quick, and then that was the beginning of all of it for me. I started going to small tournaments in my town, like little $200, $400, just cleaning house. And then we went to the MLGs, the online tournaments. We won like maybe 2K and then 10K and then 20K and 25K. And my parents were like, holy shit, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
My dad brought me to the side one time. He thought I was doing the drugs. oh, it's hella drugs. I'm like, Dad, it's not drugs, man. It's just, I'm doing these gaming tournaments, man. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. Then he pulled up to a tournament and he like saw all of it. He was blown away. And my dad's a college football coach, man. You know, so he gaming and all that. Like he was traditional sports. You know, there was practice after practice. This was homework after homework. So this was very weird for him, very unorthodox. Like I was the black sheep of the family. He wasn't sure about it all. But look at it now, man. Now my dad's my biggest fan, you know, and we have the best relationship ever, you know. But it was tough to get it to that point. And it took a lot of like just going against the grain, like hard-headed on both sides, you know. Well, we made it work.
I love the fact that he goes, all right, son, I know you're selling drugs. I'm going to come to this fucking tournament. He gets there. He goes, okay, I see you guys all playing. He goes, I'm just waiting for the first drug deal to go down. Where's the cocaine at? Come on. Well, that's
no. When you pulled up on an MLG event, I mean, it was official. It was huge. It was like, you know, there were so many people there and so many screens. When he walked in, he was like, where the fuck am I, man? This is insane. So this is what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, man. You know, and then he got a taste, right? So it wasn't like, you know, what the hell's going on? No. I mean, as soon as you got there, man, you knew you were at an MLG event. It was big back then. Did you ever get to tune into any of those back in the day?
I did not. I felt like right when I got into it, it was right when like H1Z1 was like popping, and that's when everybody was like, oh, you should start an esports team. You know, I remember there was Echo Fox. There were so many of them. There was one in Toronto, and they were like, you should buy a team.
What a great time for esports. Great time for gaming. H1Z1 was lit, but that was a little bit after that MLG era.
Exactly.
Like
and
that's a couple years. Yeah.
That's when I got into the esports, and then you know after that, you know, you had Overwatch, Blizzard did its own thing, and then you know esports kind of like went away. It just kind of disappeared. You know, you still have Dota 2. They kind of do their tournaments, but I never was into.
I hear what you mean. It changed. It definitely changed.
It's nowhere to be found. Like I felt like MLG, the Call of Duty tournaments were so big and so fun to watch on Twitch or YouTube, whatever you watch, because you know one of the biggest things that people would say is like, oh, you guys aren't athletes. I was like, the fuck they aren't. You know how much intelligence and how much hours and hand-eye coordination goes into playing that game?
Fucking athletes, DJ. Come on, man. I appreciate the love, man, but they ain't no goddamn athletes. It's out of your fucking mind, man. You're an athlete. That's what a fucking athlete is, man. These motherfuckers are nerds, bro. That's what they are, man. All right? We are nerds. No, I hate that. I hate that. I hate when
that comparison.
Yeah, I don't like the comparison, man. Because I've played a lot of sports growing up, and I have two cousins that played in the NFL. My dad played college football. My grandfather played college football. My little brother was a college athlete. There's so many athletes in my family. I went a different route, but I played sports in high school, and I know what went into it. It's just like, yes, there's competition, high-level competition. There's some brain stuff that goes into both of them for sure. But you're not a fucking athlete, man. You're not. There's no speed. There's no agility. There's no strength. There's no stamina. None of that. I mean, it might be a little bit in the mind, but nothing. No, it's not. It's not athletics at all, man.
It's so funny. I think there'll be a group of people who would argue like, no, they are athletes, and I get what you come from, right? Because, like you said, I grew up track, football, basketball.
You and I are a great. This is the best of the conversation, though, because I'm a fit gamer.
Yep.
And you can play games, but you're a fucking champion.
Yeah.
MMA champion.
Yeah.
I mean, time and time over again. So we're two great people to have in this conversation. You know, and I can confidently tell you from my side, I don't view professional gamers as athletes.
Yeah.
I think professional gamers.
I think it's so hard because, you know, I never forget when I was playing Street Fighter 6 at a very, I don't want to say very high level, but the amount of time I spent understanding, what's it called? Data frames. And then the strenuous hours I'll put on, like, you know, the hand-eye coordination, the rhythm, the timing, all that stuff. Granted, it's not a physical, like I'm not grabbing somebody and breaking their neck or anything like that, but the amount of hours I put into it and the eyes and the like when I play Marvel Rivals, I fucking love that game because I'm like, okay, I got to find the person who fits my style best. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try Psylocke. Psylocke, okay, because I'm a rogue. I like to go out, do my own thing, come back, give me some...
In and out.
In and out. But I was like, this bitch can't survive. I was like, okay, let me try Captain America. And then I'm like, I got the shield. I got USA. I'm saying Trump. I'm like, it's back. I'll put up 44 and 5. I'm like, this is amazing. He has survivability. And then, but the strenuous on the mind, it's like, okay, I have to disrupt the front line put some DPS. When I'm ready to, I'm gonna jump up, jump in the back, disrupt, go out the what's that bitch's name? Luna Frost, and then Cloak and Dagger. The healers to disrupt them, and then they start fighting each other. Hopefully, it's like you have to have the mental capacity to do it, where sometimes in sports, it's the same type of mental capacity and strain on my mind fixation that I get from watching fights and when I do jiu-jitsu and fight. So that's where I'm like, no, you guys put the same amount of hours. It's not physical, right? Like, can I call someone who's 265, fat as fuck, fatty liver, overweight, diabetic, an athlete? It's going to be very hard for me to swallow that pill. But I'll give it to him, especially if he's making 6 figures a year. Okay, I know motherfuckers who are shredded, who are professional athletes. They don't even come close to 6 figures a year. So that's where I'm like, I like to think that the guys who game all the time at a very high competitive level,
you can't do it off cash. You can't do it off cash. No. I think what it boils down to for me is sport. Like athletics. Like what is a sport?
Yeah.
An athlete is a professional sports player. I don't think games are sports. I think they're their own thing. I have respect for professional gamers, and believe me, it's not easy to do what they do, for sure. I mean, it's a lot of strenuous on the mind, especially like an Apex or a Fortnite or a Call of Duty. There's so much going on as this thing is closing in on you. You got teams on your left, you got teams on your right, you got a position that you're in, a position you're trying to get to. You got a team on your left, a team on your right, and you guys are all doing this stuff together with 100 other players.
Yep.
So it's a lot going on, but that doesn't mean they're an athlete. You still, for it to be a sport and for you to be an athlete, in my opinion,
yep,
you need to have strength, speed, agility, stamina, endurance. All those things have to be involved in order for it to be a sport, and in order for the people playing it to be athletes.
Well, it's funny to hear you say that, because you compete at the highest level of MLG. Right. And so obviously compare that to, the sports you did in high school, like the strength, because how many hours did you train? How many hours did you clock in when it came to preparing for the next match at MLG with your team? Right. Because
so many. Yeah. Just every day, every night, just playing. We play scrims. And then as soon as the guy gets off, we do 3-on-3s. Then that guy gets off, we do 2-on-2s. That guy gets off, you're playing by yourself, just practicing shit. You're working on angles. You're working on cheese spots. You're trying to find any little crack in the armor that you can abuse on game day. Yeah, for sure. But man, okay, like, see, MMA, like, obviously it's a sport. Obviously you guys are athletes, but I guess to really, to be able to find your true definition of where you think this, so you think in your heart of hearts that professional gamers are athletes?
Yeah, I think so. Like, if you're able to, if you're able to compete at a very high level, the best of the best, and you're cashing a check for, at least $50K or $120,000.
You keep bringing up cash.
I know, because the reason why I keep bringing up cash, the reason why is because my coach at the longest time, he says athletes who say they're a professional athlete or professional fighter, let's just use fighters because that's the world I come from. You got guys, I'm a professional fighter. And it's like, you made 3-3. You made $6,000. That won't even cover fucking mortgage and your health insurance, my friend.
Right.
And so it's just the honest truth. Or you make 10-10. You got a mortgage. You got to pay Uncle Sam. You're not.
I hear you.
Yeah. And then my coach, my Matt's like.
So there's a lot of people in the MMA world that flex that pro fighter, but they're not making any money.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, my coach is like, you're not a professional athlete. He's like, when you're a professional athlete, when all you do is that sport or whatever it is, and that pays your bills, right? Nothing else. And so for me, if you're professional.
So you like that. You like what your coach is saying.
Oh, 1,000%. Because for me, even when I was in the UFC,
I gotta throw a crazy example at you.
Okay, throw it to me.
Because we gotta know what your brain is actually saying right now. Because a lot of guys just call everybody athletes in every sport or competition. Because a lot of these things aren't even sports, in my opinion. Like, I don't think professional gaming is a sport.
Yep.
I think it's a competition.
Yeah.
Like chess. I don't think chess is a sport.
Yeah.
I think it's a competition, and I have respect for it. And what those guys do is insane.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make them fucking athletes. They're competitors, and they're the best at fucking chess, man. You know? So and I love this conversation because I have it with the stream often, and people get really they get like your comments on this video can get fucking amped up. But look, man, everybody has a different line.
Yeah.
So we got to find your line. I know where mine is. I told you: speed, agility, strength, endurance. So let me give you a couple examples of mine that are going to piss people off. I don't think golf is a sport. I know. I think it's a game. I think it's a game. I think it's a competition. And it's great. I love it. I play it. I watch it. I bet on it. I have friends that golf. I have pro golfers that fucking agree and don't agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think it's a sport. And people are going to fucking hate that. But, dude, like, John, what's that guy's name? John, what's his name? John Haley? Okay, this guy's like fucking 300. He's one of the best golfers of all time. He's like 300 pounds. He smokes. He drinks like crazy. And he beats this shit out of everybody in golf. I mean, what? Just saying that out loud. It's like, really?
That's peak. That's peak athlete performance.
People, shit, that's what they tell you on the stream too. But people get really mad at that, but that's how I draw my line. You know?
Yeah.
So you believe gaming's a sport, so we got to find something crazy. I'm gonna throw one at you. I don't even know if you can include this in your podcast, but I got to do it because I can't think of anything else more fucking ridiculous. Okay, let's say just for shits and giggles that a bunch of people are performing a job.
Yep.
An individual job. Okay, you got that person that are doing their job, that person that doing their, and it's a job competition. We have a fucking bracket.
Yep.
Okay, and you got to get to the end of it. Like, however, I'm not going to get into that part. However you want to do it, you got to get to the end of it. All right. Are they fucking athletes? Is this a sport? Is the job league official?
Oh man,
we got to know, man. Because I got to know. Like, is any fucking competition on earth just mean you're an athlete and this is a sport? Because I feel like you're such a respectful guy. It's funny because MMA fighters are always the nicest people outside the ring. Well, I mean, typically. But fuck, man. I mean, you got to have some. Dude, you got to have some line in your head.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking hard because I seen fat guys fuck up the guy who has the stamina, who doesn't smoke weed, who drinks water. I'm not
saying you can't be fat and be athletic. Look at the guys in the offensive line who play in the NFL.
That is true.
Huge. And they're professional people movers, man.
Yeah, man. It's a hard
They're
work.
Athletes.
Yeah,
it has speed, it has stamina, it has endurance, it has strength.
But even fighters, I've seen some fat, out of shape fighters who just are so knowledgeable, who study the game of jiu-jitsu, who are just intelligent, and then they put you. They don't have the speed, they don't have the athleticism, they don't have the strength.
You're fighting.
Well, hey! I'm just
come on, man.
I'm just giving.
I mean, I like MMA, just any kind of fighting. Combat sports is at the top of the pyramid here. Like, it's just, obviously that's a sport, and obviously you guys are athletes. I don't care what they look like. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I
love that though, because
is it a sport?
Man, we gotta ask Bonnie Blue. We gotta ask Bonnie Blue. She's almost
I ain't talking to her, man. You can talk to I ain't talking to that lady. I stay away from that lady. You talk to her. I'm asking you, bro. Is it a sport or not?
I would say jobs is not a sport. I think that's
okay.
I'll say so.
Why?
Because it takes those. I never did before, and I'm not going to try.
Right.
But I don't know how much skill it takes to get somebody off. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know.
It's a technique and a flow and a strategy here. You know?
Hey, careful there. Careful, because you're giving it more. You're giving it more of a boost. Okay, you're saying there's technique there.
By definition, but by your opinions, you could maybe insinuate that you think that this would be a sport and they're athletes. Ask your producer. Am I bugging? Where's that guy at?
Michael, we need you to get in here. We need your feedback, Michael.
I have to. You got to have a line somewhere, man. Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I get where you're coming from, and I agree with you. I feel that in order to be a sport, I just know what it takes, and I'm sure you know what it takes to be at the top of the level when it comes to gaming,
especially,
right? Like you know it. I know it from mixed martial arts, right? And I have to put some form of respect because I can't do that stuff. Just like you could.
You can respect things without titleizing them incorrectly.
Yes, I agree with you. So for me, I totally understand where you come from, right? Like,
Hey, no disrespect, by the way. I'm not saying that your opinion's wrong.
no,
I'm just-
no, absolutely. We're vibing
the
out.
problem is whenever I had this conversation with somebody, they never truly know. Like,
Yeah.
they don't know where their line is, but I know where mine is.
Yeah, exactly. And and
Most people don't give me like a line. I'm like, I want a line. What? Okay, is chess a sport?
I would say, God, with our line, with the speed, athleticism, stamina, and all that stuff,
No, that's my line. Your line.
fuck, I'll probably say it is
know.
a sport. I'll probably say it's a sport just because of the strenuous and the hours
On your mind.
and focus and putting somebody in a position where it's like, I'm going to force you to make a bad decision, right? Like,
Fuck, man.
like that's
No, the comments are gonna love you and they're gonna eat me up for this, man. Now I'm be the dickhead. It's fine though.
it's all good.
Bro. I'm staying on business.
NASCAR is a sport. Like,
It's a sport.
the amount of athleticism it takes in to get prepared and to hold the
sport.
steering
Wait,
wheel
hold
to turn. I
It's
mean,
tough, isn't it?
like I used to work for a guy who,
You gotta be strong in there, right?
yeah,
You gotta be quick,
quick.
speed, stamina, endurance, agility, strength. Probably take some strength. That's right.
Yeah. you gotta go.
I'd hate that job, man. I would hate that job.
Why, be a NASCAR racer?
Oh yeah, man. God, I feel like at any second it can all be over.
Well, you gotta look at Lewis
I mean,
Hamilton.
MMA too, but especially I feel like it's NASCAR. Fucking
Hey, like they said, if you ain't first, you last, baby. If you ain't first, you last.
I would hate that job. Sheesh.
Now,
All right.
I want to get back on track. We got the whole,
Yeah,
sports
sorry.
debate. No, hey, I fucking
I love that one. I love that one.
I do too, because I go back and forth between people all the time about, mixed martial arts. We should make more money. I mean, everybody has a line on what aspect of what they're talking about, right? Like when it comes to,
and when you're talking about something and you feel a type of way, you should be able to like stand on business and explain the way you feel.
Absolutely.
And if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, but you speak on that. So it's good.
and be respectful to the other person's opinion and try to look at it from their side, their point of view.
Absolutely. Like golfers are insanely talented at everything that they do. It's just being a sport and an athlete to me is a little different.
Yeah.
Same thing with gamers. I mean, gamers are insanely talented too. It's really difficult to be at the top of these leagues and sports and these competitions, but they do what they do and they're the best at what they do.
Well, I always laugh. Like, one of the things that turned me off from baseball was this: when I was a kid, I would see Ichiro. He would sit there and eat, kimchi while he was in the den. I was like, he ain't no fucking athlete. Like, look, he's taking a longest break. He's sitting there just eating. He gets up and hits. And then I played.
Baseball's a funny fucking example because, I mean, other than the pitcher, the catcher, and the batter, and I'm just saying the majority of those guys are standing there for the majority of the game. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it isn't a sport. It's a fucking sport. So relax, everybody. All right? But it's a tricky one, man.
You're like you spend 85% of your career just fucking standing there collecting all this money. You're not an athlete. You just fucking stand for your professional stander.
No, their life is super fucking hard though, because they got like 200 games a year or something. So I heard you live in like a hotel and whatnot. That'd be brutal. You play like twice in a day.
Yeah,
two times a day sometimes.
That's the job you don't want. That's the job you don't want. Okay,
unless you got that contract that last guy got. God damn,
dude, the money,
$800 million or something.
It's like, where does that money come from?
I don't know his name. I'm not a baseball guy, but fuck, man.
Yeah, man.
It's 200 games a season, man. Imagine you fought 200 times a year. What's the most fights you ever had in a year, you think?
For me, 3 in 1 year. I fought in January in Chicago. Got surgery in July. I got surgery in March. Tore my labrum and my right shoulder or left shoulder, one of the two. Went in there, fix that up, clean up 6 weeks recovery. Fought in July, and then turn around and fought in December. So I fought 3 times in 1 year.
Win.
In January, July, and December.
Win.
First one was unanimous decision. Then the second one was an arm bar, and then the third one was a knockout in the first round. So
insane, bro.
But in mixed martial
After
arts,
surgery too.
Yeah, man. They don't build.
You gotta go.
They're not like, I always tell people, the athletes today. This is my opinion, and Michael could chime in on this. The athletes today in mixed martial arts aren't like the athletes back in the day. Meaning that when I would fight, it was like I fight January, turn around, get surgery, fight in July, then turn around and fight in December. And the reason why I fought so much is because I wasn't making a shitload of money. Where now, and I didn't care about like who I was fighting, wasn't trying to angle to get the right pay-per-view. It was just like, I was just running it. Where today, you see guys like, they'll fight once and then they won't fight for a year, maybe 9 months. I mean, you look at Tom Aspinall, he hasn't fought in almost a fucking year. So it's just a little bit different. And
very different.
And I think if we made more money, like baseball or basketball, NFL, it, you know,
you brought that up a couple of times. I know it's a popular talking point in like just MMA in general. So how do you feel about all that?
It's
I'm on your podcast, so if you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
No. This podcast
I'm like genuinely curious.
No, the reason I love doing this, like, it's just vibing out, right? Like, I like to vibe out with the guests and, talk about the gaming. I think it's good. For me, it's a very interesting, I feel like we're in a very interesting spot when you talk about the money because, I do believe athletes should make more money. How much more? I do believe we should have, a bargaining agreement where it's like, hey, if, I'm headlining this event, I will love to get, hey, if you sell a drink, let me get 50 cents. Let me get a little slice of that, right? Kind of like how boxers do. Like Mayweather, he was very open about that. We don't get that in mixed martial arts. I think, there was a point in time in mixed martial arts where there was no, everybody talks about competition. You had Strikeforce, you had Pride, you had
all those ones.
All Elite XC, UFC, you had all these ones. But nobody was paying the same amount of money as a UFC. Like, I'll never forget, my coach was like, dude, we're not going to go fight in Japan at 135, 125 because there ain't no fucking money. We're going to wait until, like, you're going to fight for WEC, and then WEC got absorbed by the UFC. And when I fought for WEC, I made 3 to show, 3 to fight. I lost that fight, and then I broke my hand. I had to get an MRI, so I was basically in the hole in the first fight. But, you have athletes leaving their organization wanted to come fight for the UFC because they paid the most money. Now, when I think about that, if one organization is paying let's put in a gamer's term, right? Let's say you have all these different organizations, but MLG was a big dick. Like they're paying $200,000, $400,000. The pot was better. You don't want to go, play for these guys. You're like, I want to go play for MLG because they're paying the biggest money. So I feel like in the UFC at the time, UFC did buy Pride, they did buy Strikeforce, right, to weed out the competition, but everybody still wanted to be at the UFC to make the most money. So and then it's like, you have a guy like Conor who comes in, he just fucking kills it. He brings the eyeballs. He made a shitload of money. Same as Ronda Rousey.
You're talking about your specific timing, right?
My timing. Yeah. My time.
Yeah.
Like,
now I get it.
Like
right? you low key, bro. It was kind of a bad time, like not bad time, but just not as good of a time to come up. I think I'd argue. I don't know. I feel like you're very underappreciated just in general.
Yeah. Well, I think.
And don't take that the wrong way.
No, I don't. No.
All that you've done and all that you've accomplished.
Yeah. Trust me, I don't take it in the wrong way. Yeah. It's hard because I appreciate the time I came up because it was like, I was hungry. I was fucking hungry. It was like, you're going to fight here. You're going to fight here. I can't. I got to get surgery. But after I get surgery, I'm going to fucking fight again. And they was, you're going to fight again. I'm like, let's fucking run it. Like, let's get this paper. And then obviously social media it is what it was.
It wasn't what it was.
Exactly. Right. And I'm grateful to go through that time because I was so focused on trying to be the best athlete and not trying to make the most money where, we had a person who we do a show together with, it's coming up soon. He was like, you being unappreciated in your career has made you more popular at the tail end of your career. That makes sense. Like now I'm the most popular I've ever been. People are like,
That's a good point because now everybody that comes up in the MMA world, they're almost being trained to go like the Conor route in some ways or like another. Like you not that they're all like Conor, but they're just trying to do the most with their online presence, their X, their Instagram. There's almost like a thing to do, and it feels not as organic. I guess it's not as real.
Yeah, I
not every time, but I just get that a lot of the times now.
Well, I feel that's just the power of social media. Like, I mean, you look at how much money you make on Snapchat, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. I mean, you're an amazing example to like you made your brand so fucking big off of your passion of gaming. And if you could do the same thing in mixed martial arts, it's like, you know, here's two routes. You can go the route where Conor, he made tons of fucking billions of dollars, or you go the route of Demetrious Johnson where he didn't make not even fucking fraction of what he did. I think people are going to probably
Let me ask you a
this.
question. Did you ever think that it was going to be everything it is today when you were fighting?
You know, that's the first time somebody's ever asked me that. No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's very important because people. No, it is because that means you loved it.
Oh,
And I'm not saying that people coming up and fighting right now don't feel the way that you did about the fight game.
yeah.
But there's a component in there when like let me give you an example. Like when me and my friends were playing Gears of War 2, there was no money in it. Like we were really struggling. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I was throwing my life away. I was 18 years old. I was living in my mom and dad's, you know, basement. Just a cliche gamer, right? And we had a tournament in Texas, and we couldn't buy plane tickets because we didn't have money, and I didn't have any way to get help. So we bought Greyhound tickets on the bus to go to Texas. And then me and like 8 friends all chipped in for a cheap ass hotel room.
Yep.
Just to play in this tournament. We were doing it for the love of the game, and we did it for so many years that way. And even when we streamed, like I turned my stream on way back in the day before Twitch was Twitch. It used to be Justin TV. I was one of the first ever partners. Nobody made money. Like no one made money. You were just kind of doing it to do it. And I had like maybe 100 people in there.
Yep.
But we did it because we loved it.
Yep.
And then oddly enough, boom. And we're right here. So it's like, okay, I mean, well, fuck yeah, right? Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
But we never planned it, and we never knew it was going to happen. And so, you know how they say that like ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
It's a big example of that. And for you as well, like, you know, I mean, you're crushing it now, and you killed it in your career. But yeah, it's interesting to think about how the decisions that you made, and if it would have been any like if there would have been any changes, had you known it was going to be everything it is today, you know?
Yeah. There, you know, I
know what I mean?
Yeah, 1000%. Like we do it for the love of it, right? I mean, like I said, oh man, I'm a professional fighter. I made 66. Congrats, you made 12 G's. That ain't shit. Like it truly isn't. And so, like you said, I did
Especially when you fight 3 times a year, you know, max.
Yeah, it's nothing, and that's why today there's such a big proponent on fighter pay, where Michael is very outspoken about, like, you know, athletes should get paid a lot more in the UFC. And I'm like, dude, you know, and this is the fighter mindset. I'm 5'3", 145 pounds now. Where the fuck else in the world am I going to be able to not have, you know, I have some college education where I'm going to be able to go whoop somebody's ass 2 times a year and get, you know, $750,000. Nowhere? Perfect. I'll just fucking fight, and you know, while the company makes a tons of money off you. Like that's the struggle when it comes.
That's the struggle point.
That's the point, because it's like there'll always be somebody else out there who will fight cheaper. And I always tell me and Michael was talking about, like, the UFC is a prime example where they won't build stars. Why not? You build a star, okay. That star loses. Okay, now it's
now what?
Now what, right? But if we build the brand of the UFC, shit, you could throw this guy and this guy. He's in the UFC. He's one of the greatest fighters to ever grace the octagon.
Right.
Everyone's gonna buy the pay-per-view.
Right.
The Apex Center. It's like
it's smart. It's smart. It's smart because they have this beast, man. This machine that they throw these MMA guys into, and it works. It really does work.
Yep. I mean, so since you follow the UFC, who are the fighters you like to watch nowadays? Because I know I be seeing your tweets on the nowadays. I know you're a big Max Holloway fan.
Well, yeah, I love Max, man. He's such a great guy. You know, he's a big gamer as well. So I've seen a lot of his fights, man. He's just so fun to watch. I mean, Gaethje, Poirier. People don't, you know, it's very controversial with the Khabib and Conor stuff. I love them both. Didn't you go over there and train with Khabib and those guys?
Nah, he was in Vegas. That's why I went to go train with him. But I
saw some clips of it, but it looks so cool, man. They look like they were vibing, bro. You guys were hanging out. It's cool.
Yeah, I want to go to Dagestan. I just got to find the right time.
I thought you went. I could have sworn you went. Okay.
No, it was in Vegas, but I do want to go do the mighty journey over there.
Go, man.
I know. That'll be great content.
Crazy. Go to like Khabib's school or whatever and just go crazy.
Did you see that? The school he just opened?
It's insane, man.
Dude.
It's so insane. Yeah, their lifestyle and the way they do business, just the way they do their thing in MMA is very intriguing, very interesting. I think to all MMA fans, it's like, damn, man, how are they always so good, bro? They're all so good.
I feel like they start from a very young age, right? Like
it's culture, right?
It's the culture. Yeah. I tell people, like, I didn't start doing any type of form of combat until I was in 8th grade, and I was wrestling. Other than that, it was football, basketball, you know.
Yeah. No
that's
way.
It. But when you're over,
I didn't know that. I thought you've been going your whole life.
Oh, no. I knew I learned how to throw my first punch when I was like 18 years old. Like, okay, this is jab, pop, not
bang.
Yeah, it wasn't. But over there in Dagestan, it's like, hey, you want to do sambo? You want to do, you know, wrestling and all that stuff? It's introduced at a very young age. So that's why they have all these years as, you know, a sambo world champion before they even get into the UFC. So they're always going to be seasoned, right? It's just, if you come from that region, they're going to be, and they follow the whole path of like at a very young age, they're going to be fucking good. Like there's just no way around it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean that, and then I really want that John Jones fight to go through, man.
Ooh, John Jones and Tom
Aspinall.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I would love to see it. It's weird. I have a difference in opinions. You know, like always been a big fan of John Jones in the octagon. You know, I'm outside the thing, that's whatever. You know what I mean?
Stand up, base. Stand up, base, baby.
You don't gotta love the guy. You don't gotta love the guy, right? You don't gotta love the guy, and I don't. But I'm a big fan of him as an MMA fighter, and I would love to see him fight Aspinall. I actually think that he would destroy Tom Aspinall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that competitive of a fight.
Ooh, well, hopefully they get it done. Right? It's the hardest thing because. Once again, there's so much money involved. There's legacy involved.
He wants to get paid, right?
He wants to get paid. Tom, like I said before earlier in the show, he hasn't fought in almost a year. Where there's, I always go back to when John was healthy and he was scheduled to fight Stipe Miocic. I love Stipe, and I'm like, man, in the code of mixed martial arts or the UFC, whatever it is, when you have an interim champion and a heavyweight champion, they're supposed to fight when they're both healthy. When we could have had that fight a long time ago. Granted, it's a lot bigger now. It has more substance to it. But it's like that fight should have happened a long time ago. Like in the street.
But if you're the UFC, it's working out, isn't it? Fuck. I hate it. I hate that it's working, but it's working. I mean, everybody just wants it. It's so much more now that they're doing it this way, Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. You've been following the UFC for a long time. Do you think this is the best time to be a fan of the UFC? Or do you think it was back in earlier, I think 2011 to 2018? What is your peak? And the next follow-up question I want after that, do you think UFC is at its all-time peak? From your standpoint, from, you're gaming all the time, you're not watching every card, but you're like, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough question. I think maybe my favorite time to watch the UFC. Oh boy,
period.
Watching John. Yeah, I'm thinking of John Jones's career, GSP, and all those crazy fights with BJ Penn, and I mean that was a crazy time back then. But that was when I was graduating high school. Mm-hmm. That was when I was really getting into it. That was the beginning for me personally. I love the Khabib Conor stuff.
Yeah, that sure was fire. That
put the whole thing on 10. I don't know if I have a specific. I mean, I just love it. I love going to the fights right now. Me and my family, we go for the whole card. We have a great time. I get that. I get the way they're doing it now. Like there's just, it's like, it seems quicker, sped up, like there's not these people that there's not a lot of Connors at the moment. There's not a lot of, there are, but there aren't. It's a whole different game. So I get kind of what you mean. I don't know. I don't know if I can give it a specific time period, but I do love the UFC. I love going to the fights. It's a lot of fun for me, man.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, well, I always like to ask people because there's some people that's like,
you said 2011 to 2018 is your favorite.
That's probably my favorite because you had the GSP, you had the Matt Hughes, you had myself, Joseph, Dominic Cruz, you had TJ Dillashaw, you had Hannah Barral, you had Jose Aldo, you had Chad Mendez. I mean, you had Luke Rockhold, you had Yoel Romero, you had that's when Izzy first came into the thing. I
love the Adesanya Pereira stuff.
Yep.
I love that.
I mean, I
how
just
can't you?
like now, like I feel now, if my opinion, I think now it's probably not, there's not as many stars, right? It's like back in the day, it was like,
Still got John Jones. You got John Jones in
his
there
black
right
ass
now.
ain't coming back. He's, he over there
You
in
don't think so?
I just don't know. Like,
I know he's in Thailand goofing around and stuff, man. He's such a fucking troll. Yeah, he's just a goofy, isn't he? God, he's just the greatest though, man. It's
like,
so fucking
I
tough, man.
just don't know if he's coming back, right? I would love to see him come back and fight Tom. Like, I really want that I really want to see a fight as a not just as an analyst and create YouTube content. I just want to see it because as a fan, right? Like, I love seeing John Jones fight 2 to 3 times a year, or GSP fight 2 to 3 times a year, or even like Jose Aldo fight more often, but you don't see that as much anymore. So it's kind of hard for me to, get on board with the stories, because for me, it's all about storytelling. Like, where does this
UFC does a great job of that too. I mean, they really fucking crush it,
Yeah, and so for me, they don't have as much storytelling. Like Anderson Silva, like and Vitor Belfort. I mean,
Dude, the spider,
then the TRT, sagas where it's like, look at this athlete, he's fucking shredded. He's not shredded. Holy shit, he's shredded. Oh, he's not. It's like just that whole. And then the John Jones versus DC, and like, hey, pussy, you still there? He goes, you're just crazy, man. God, just
that was cinema, man.
Cinema,
Perfect.
Just pure
Perfect.
cinema, pure cinema.
Perfect.
Like,
I know we need that stuff back. No, you're right. And right now, there's not a lot of it.
Yeah.
Heavyweight division's weird because of that. Light heavyweight's a little strange too.
Yep. So, but it's all good. Let's get back to gaming. Okay, so you become a professional gamer at MLG. Talk to me about you transition into just being a full-time streamer as Twitch. Talk to me about that, because I try to do it. I bow down. I fucking bow down, man, because
you don't do it no more?
Fuck
you don't
no.
stream?
No, I don't stream anymore. No. Dude, the amount of hours, I never forget, the most subscribers I had, let me tell you my schedule, and I'll tell you why I stopped. Even though I love gaming. Gaming is my first love. I would come, this is my stream schedule. I will wake up, go to the gym, do my first strength and conditioning. After that, I will go next door. I had a laptop, a gaming Xbox. I would plug into Twitch. I would stream from basically noon to 3:30 playing Elden Ring or
you did that off
Dark
the
Souls
Xbox?
3.
Wow.
On Xbox. It was probably Dark Souls. I would do that. Or Killer Instinct 1.
Dope.
I would do that. Or not Killer Instinct, but Killer Instinct for Xbox. From 12 to 3:30. Get ready for the next training session. Train from 5 to 7. Drive home. Get home. Kiss my wife. Shower. Eat. Kiss my wife. Go back downstairs. Stream from 9 to 11. I would do that 4 days a week. And I never forget, I think the most subscribers I got to, or paid members, was I think it was 2,000 paid subscribers. And after I got done,
that's great. Great.
That was great. But I was like, dude, I have no life. I'm not going to bed with my wife. I'm not hanging out with my kids. I was like, the amount of money I'm making from streaming is not worth the sacrifice. I'm not being able to, and I'm already at the gym.
Very hard to do all that, and then you have kids.
And kids,
I won't lie.
And I was
How many
like,
kids do you have again?
At that time, it was 2. So I didn't even have my third one. And I was like, you know what? I'm done.
You got 3 kids? Nice.
I got 3 kids. Yeah, 2 boys and
Awesome,
1 girl. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I know you just had one.
Well, it's a lot. Yeah, I did. It's a lot. It's a lot when you have kids because everything changes, right? I mean,
yeah. And I was a full-time fighter. And I was like,
you're fighting.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do it. I was like, I bow down to people. And I loved it because I met the most amazing people that I still talk to this day. Like, I would do, the streamer meet up with, Rylan and, all the boys, Nightwalker, and we'll do the TwitchCon stuff. But it just wasn't something that I didn't feel was sustainable to have a healthy marriage, a healthy career. So I was like, I stopped streaming. And then I took a long hiatus I still gamed, but I never streamed on Twitch, and I wouldn't post any YouTube content. I was just focused on fighting. And then
#dad life, man. This is dad right here, man. That's who's talking right now.
Yep.
Dad.
Coming home. Trust me, I would love to wake up, and every once in a while I'll do it. I'll wake up on Saturday morning, everybody's still sleeping. I was like, I'm about to clock in 4 hours on the fucking game PC right now. Come upstairs, musty as fuck. That's like, did you work out? I was like, just a little Marvel. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah, a little Captain America, That's funny. Yeah, no, I love hearing all that because I totally get it. You know, you have kids, everything changes. You know, all the old heads would always tell me, Nick, you know, as soon as you have kids, everything changes, everything changes. I know I just said that. It's not that everything changes though. It's just that, like, the way you view everything changes, like your thought processes, the way you digest the world, the way you take it in, the way you give it back. That is what changes, you know? So for me, yeah, like we had our first 2 years ago, we got another one on the way, and yeah, man, I love to stream. I love to game still, and I do it, but not even close to the amount of time that I used to do it. So that's changed a lot for me, you know?
But at the beginning of it, how many hours were you streaming a week? Like
in the beginning, it was completely different. I mean, I had to give my life to it because I was doing that already, throwing away everything. I mean, like, I was doing community college. I did horrible at that. I was doing, like, I had a part-time job at a gym, horrible at that. I mean, just all I ever wanted to do was game. And it took me away from everything, man. Like my friends, my family. So I was throwing it all away just to game, but I didn't know that it was ever going to do this.
Yeah.
And in doing that, and then it started to pop. I was like, holy shit. Now I'm on this kick, and I'm fucking moving, I'm flying. And then I got like 100 subscribers. And then I got 200. And then I got 500. And I'm telling my dad, like, Dad, I don't know what's going on right now, man. But like, people are really, they're fucking with me right now, man. They're fucking with me. I don't know. And I didn't even know that it was ever going to be like this. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do? You know what I mean? And I'm just having fun with it. And I'm trying to like give back to these people that are just on the internet. They're giving to me. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to throw a tournament for them. Let's put them on a tournament. If they win, they can get this fucking Amazon gift card. And I'd do that. And we'd all have a blast. And everybody be having a fucking ton of fun. And I talk to them online. I get to know them. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to be at this event. Are you guys going to be there? Yeah, okay. I'll buy a pizzeria out and we'll all have pizza on me, because you guys, and then it just kept going and going and going, and the momentum, and I'm playing these tournaments, and I'm doing me, and I'm doing the thing that I fell in love with doing. And it just dude, like from 2012 or 2011 maybe to now, it just went boom, 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 boom. And it just kept growing, I think, until I had my son.
Wow.
And that was when I was like, okay, look, I mean, I'm putting all this time into this stuff, I mean, I'm doing 40, 50 hours a week on stream. This is not now, but this is when I was grinding.
Yep.
I'm doing all these hours on stream, and then I go and I do my YouTube intros, and I'm doing my Instagram small clips, and then I'm on, sponsor calls, and I'm talking to my agent. And when you get done with the week, bro, like, people laugh because your hands don't look like this. It's not like hard. It's not hard labor, Like I'm not with a shovel and an axe. It's gaming, right? But like, dude, your brain gets fucking cooked, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So much screen and so much, and then when you're on the stream, there's thousands of people, and you're doing all these fucking things, and you're loving it, you're having fun. But then when you get done with it, it's like whoosh.
Yep.
Whoa. And then you come down from this fucking high. Like, I would imagine it'd kind of be like for you, like when you're in the fight, you're fucking doing all the stuff you're doing, corner, sponge, ice, this, that, okay, win, doom, boom, interview, yay, welcome back, hi, how you doing? And then you finally get in that locker room, door closes, whoosh.
Yep.
And there's your wife. You're like, hey, honey, I fucking did it. Like, I'd imagine, like, and not that every stream is like comparable to a fight, but in my mind, it's like my day, when I was full-time streaming and doing the full-time YouTube and full-time everything. And like, you have the rock. That's another thing too. You got to talk about, like, you know that you have the rock, not only for you, but for your family and your friends and all your people, like your dad. I bought my dad a home. I bought my mom a home. I bought my cousin a home.
That's fucking crazy.
I take care of everybody around me, but I have the ball, me.
Yep.
I decide if it goes forward, if we go backwards, if we're getting a touchdown, if we're getting a field goal. It's my fucking possession. So, I, like, for a long time, I was in that period of my life, and I still am. But like, yo, dude, I fucking have it all, man. I mean, we have absolutely crushed it, and I have a lot of smart people around me with investments and other things. It's
cinema.
It's over.
I love to hear it.
It's over.
Well, it's
over.
That's fucking awesome. I love to fucking hear that, because it's not the same, because I see people who started streaming when I did, and they're still streaming, and they never broke over 200 viewership. Or, sometimes I go on Twitch just to see, like, oh, who's still streaming? Is this guy still streaming? They'll have 60 viewers. And I'm like, dude, it's a hard life. So to hear that you were able to take care of your family, everybody around you, and you still are killing it, like, it warms my heart, because just like in fighting, it's not everybody makes a lot of money. right? Like you're able to buy a house.
Yeah, and it's not guaranteed.
Yes, it's not guaranteed. And for you to stick with it, and I felt like you were smart because you branded yourself, right? Like,
well, I got to give, I mean, I really, like you said, you met a lot of great people in gaming. You know, there are a lot of great people in gaming.
yeah,
There just are. There's a lot of really awesome fucking people, dope humans in these gaming communities, man. And they're so supportive and they just want to be entertained and they just want to learn and get better or whatever it might be. And, you know, they're very generous in these streams. And it's because of all these fucking people, man, that have come through my channels and just showed so much love that I'm in the position I am in today. And I think a big part of my success was the fact that, you know, I wasn't ignorant to that. The whole way through, I knew I was here because of this. So I made sure to take care of my family, take care of my friends, and I'm going to take care of this goddamn community. I mean, bro, I spent $500,000 out of my pocket for a Florida, you know, greet and meet thing where you can pull up and you get free food, free drinks, free games. There was games everywhere. And if you got a good score in the game, then you won like $400 or $500 cash. Like I'm just giving it. I'm giving it. I mean, we would do $10,000 giveaways like every other fucking thing on stream, you know. So I've given away a lot of stuff, you know. And not only that, but we've taken my platform. I had all these fucking viewers, man. I mean, I would be gaming with Timmy and Clocky during fucking COVID. I've had 80,000 people in the stream on like a Tuesday at 10 a.m. Like what?
Yep.
So I'm like, you know, let's do some tournaments for people who don't have this viewership. Let's fucking try to put them on.
Yeah.
And people that have viewers now, they'll all tell you they all played in my fucking tournaments. I mean, I don't take all the credit for their success, but it was because we put those fucking terms together. They got a chance to showcase their ability and their skills. So not only do I give back to the people that have given me everything, but I give back to my communities. You know, I try to take care of everybody from every angle that has gotten me to where I am today, you know?
Yep.
I think that was a big component as to why maybe the people that you're talking about being successful in gaming, like why I was so successful. Cause I fucking took off, you know, and I think that was a big driver of that.
Well, I think another thing that I saw that was, that elevated you too is that you see it in comedy, right? Joe Rogan, no, Cat Williams talked about it with Shannon Sharp is that you have like Joe, you know, you have Joe Rogan and he'll help his circle around him, like uplift everybody, right? It's like, hey, I'm doing this show. I'm the opening act. Hey, I'm going to have, you know, this gentleman who's up and comer help this guy out, right? Like you guys would, you know, be you, Tim the Tap Man. You might play with Doc. You guys will collab together and it'll uplift everybody, right? And that's one thing that you really don't see. It's kind of hard to do in mixed martial arts because everybody's fighting each other. But that's one thing that inspires me. It's like, man, you got to take care of the people around you. You know, you might look at them as your competitors, but it's also a person you can actually create content with, right? Where it's like you guys up with each other. It's like, hey, you know,
all ships rise. You know, that's always been the mentality.
Exactly.
And we all know that, man. Like, you know, when let's say Timmy has like a hashtag ad tweet, you know, Clocky and I will try to respond to it just to show it love. Hey, you know, LOL, and we'll try to make it funny. You know, it's small things like that, man. We just try to help each other out as much as we can, you know? Yeah.
I love that. So how is it streaming now? You have a child and you have one on the way, you're married. How is it now compared to when you used to do it, right? Like how many hours are you streaming now?
It's great. It's great. No, it's great. It's so great. I'm chilling, man, because dude, I just get on and the sole purpose is to have fun.
Yep.
Like remember why we fucking did this my whole life, man. Just get on, have fun, you know, do your part, right? And then log the fuck off. And that's what I've been doing, man. I've been getting online, just having a good time with the homies. And then I'm focused on being the best dad that I can be, the best husband that I could be. You know, I want to be a super present dad. I want to be here as much as I can for my little man. And I have 2 boys now coming, but hey, you know, I want to be here, man. So I don't want to stream all those hours and do YouTube. I don't want to fucking do that. And I don't have to. Yeah. And I had a conversation with my wife. I'm like, look, man, you know, we've crushed it and we're going to still put a little bit into it. Like I'm still doing like 20 to 30 hours a week of like streaming, maybe YouTube, like we did a vlog, like that counts, you know?
Yep.
But I'm trying to be very, very much part-time.
I love that. And so here's another question and then I'm going to let you go. I mean, I can go on all fucking day and talk to you, right?
Same.
I know you got responsibilities.
No, you're good. Yeah.
What I've been asking a lot of athletes, professional athletes, or in their respective fields. What did you do with your very first check that you got from gaming? Like for me, from fighting, my very first check, I was like, I'm gonna go buy a laptop from Best Buy, baby. We done made it. It was like $450 to show, $450 to win, right? What was your very first check?
God, dude.
I know. Don't.
Was it actually that? Oh Lord.
What was your
that shit for sure? Fucking A, man, a rack. God.
So what did you do with your very first check, and then what'd you do with your very last check?
Both went to the same place, man, the bank account. You know, I think, but like to give you a better answer though, I was living with my dad. I was saving my money, you know, and the first big purchase I ever made was I bought my dad a home. That's the first big purchase. No car, no clothes, no fucking house. I was living with Pops.
Yep.
But we needed an upgrade, man. We were in like a fucking two-bedroom apartment. It was tough times. So we had to buy a crib. I bought that crib.
That's what's up.
It's the first thing I did with like when I had enough saved up, and I think it was around $300-400K. And I saved it, man. I never spent nothing, bro. I just put it away.
Wow.
And the whole time I'm just grinding my fucking ass off. It was a blur. It's a blur. I'm just going. I'm fucking going. I know I got the ball. I'm going.
Yep.
You know. My last check hit the bank. Whole Foods. Goat milk. Goat milk for the little man, bro. You know? Cheddar bunnies, goddammit.
Oh, I fucking love that, man. Well, Nick, I appreciate every single bit of your time. I know you're busy with the stream schedule. This is your opportunity to let people know how they can find you, how they can support you, what you got on the horizon, any more tournaments. The floor is yours, brother.
Floor is mine. I appreciate that, man. You know what, bro? I'm just going to take this time to say thank you for having me on. You know, I'm a big fan, bro. You got a lot of fans in gaming. You got a lot of fans around the world, and you are a legend, man. And to be up here with you, to talk to you like this, and have you hear me and me hear you, it's a super special experience, man. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that shit. And I had a great time.
No, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I follow all your content, and I'll never forget when you're playing. Like the best part is like, because my producer, he doesn't come from the streaming culture, right? And you had a very unique streaming camera. You would only have the top of your eyes. You're like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, fuck out that shit.
Right there.
And even if I was really locked in, it'd be like this.
Yep. You couldn't see you. You couldn't see you. And then after the match over, you sit back. He goes, come on, chat. I mean, da-da-da-da. And then you were different because you never went mouse to keyboard. You were gung-ho about, guys.
Controller gang, man.
Controller game. Like, I'll beat your fucking ass with a controller. You can have the mouse and keyboard. And that was like, that inspired a lot of people to not go to mouse. My boys, they still play on the controller. They refuse to go
and all
to.
Those keyboard guys, they started on fucking controller too, and they forgot their roots. That's their fucking problem, man. They fucking left us, and they forgot where they came from. God damn it. Controller game. Yeah. You forgot about your homies, bro.
Yeah, I left. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I can't do it. Only time what's
that game you played? What was your favorite game again? It's a keyboard game. You can't play a check controller.
I played World of Warcraft. I played
WoW.
Yeah, you can't play.
You can't play that controller.
No. So that's
okay then. Yeah, it's fine. You can't even play that controller, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's what transitioned me out.
If you could, like, these motherfuckers playing keyboard and mouse on Call of Duty, bro. On Call of Duty. Call of fucking Duty.
Sorry, dog. That's me now. That's me.
Yeah, I know, but man, Call of Duty 3 on the fucking Xbox.
Yeah,
it was controllers, man.
I know, but I can't.
It's cool. It's all right, man.
I can't even go back, dude. I tried going back to controller. I couldn't do it. I lost my touch. I lost the touch.
Too much respect for you to be upset about this, man. Don't worry. It ain't gonna get me. But bro, I appreciate you having me on, man. You're the fucking GOAT.
Yep, absolutely. All right, boys.
Thank you, man.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the MIGHTYcast. I am your host, Amish Johnson, and that is our guest, Nick Merckx. Make sure you guys go follow him on his Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Amazing content. We'll see you guys at the next episode of the MIGHTYcast. Guys, welcome back to another episode of the MIGHTYcast, and this is the part of the episode where we recap everything that we just went through with our guest, and our guest was Nick Merckx. So right off the bat, if you guys have not followed this man on YouTube or Twitch, do yourself a favor, follow this man, absolute amazing gamer, and he creates some amazing content, not just around gaming, but, you know, it's a vlog. I think he just did one Navy SEALs training. But I wanted to talk to him because, you know, before I became one of the best fighters in the world in mixed martial arts, I still am a true gamer. I game all the fucking time. Gaming is my first love, and it'll always be my first love because it was a way for me to be able to entertain myself, coming from a family where we didn't come from money, right? Our form of entertainment was every night sitting around a Super Nintendo, playing Street Fighter 2, playing Super Ghosts and Ghouls, playing Super Metroid, Legend of Zelda, A Link to a Past. Like, that was my upbringing. And I did get back into gaming more as an adult when I found out about Twitch. And along those journeys of me streaming on Twitch, I came across Nick Merckx. I met him before, like we said in the MIGHTYcast, at the forntnite big program. And ever since then, before then I was always a fan, but to meet him and his dad, he was there with his dad in the suite, we're talking, and we've always vibed out. And we've been trying to get this, you know, this collab going for a very, very long time, but schedules, you know, never aligned, but it finally did. One of the things that I loved about it was his upbringing of gaming and how he was able to take care of all of his family around him, his dad, you know, his cousins, his family. And he's at a point now in his life where he can chill, where, you know, when you look at mixed martial arts, there's a lot of people who grind, and they never get the opportunity to actually buy their mom a house or dad a house. Like, they barely make it to the UFC and start making a lot of money. And to see him, you know, start from nothing and get to a point where he's able to take care of everybody around him was cool to hear about. And the fact that he pointed out, he goes, let me ask you a question. Did you ever think fighting in the UFC, it would ever get to the point where it is today, which is a multi-billion-dollar, you know, company where the brand is so massive, you know, you have, you know, guys, you know, fans don't even know those athlete's name. They just know him they label him as a UFC fighter. So the brand is so massive. In the beginning of the time when I started training mixed martial arts, I did not think that the sport or the brand would get this big. And he pointed out, he goes, that's when you know you did it for the love of it. And I'm happy to hear that, because I did truly do mixed martial arts or train mixed martial arts and compete just for the love of the sport. Because when I first started fighting as a professional fighter, my first paycheck was $5 the show. I think it was $250. I think it was $5 the show, $5 to win. You know, maybe $1,000, and then, you know, you keep on winning. You go to Alaska, and you make another check for $750 the show, $750 the win. You're not making any money. Then when you finally make it to the big leagues as they call it, you're making $3 to show, $3 to win. Your MRI costs $3K, and then you break your hand and you lose, so you're negative. It's like, you truly have to love mixed martial arts in order to pursue it as a full-time career. There's a guy in the gym. He's undefeated as an amateur, very, very good kid, very, very young. And he decided he didn't want to fight anymore. He goes, I just don't think it's conducive to my lifestyle, because I'm fighting somebody, and if I beat them, I'm taking their dreams away. Like, I feel like I can fulfill my life doing other things instead of beating people up. And I was like, I said, I'm glad you had that, you know, that train of thought, because that's essentially what it is when you get to that league, is that when you're fighting for the money. And then if you beat this person, he's going to get less money. It's not like in basketball, like, oh, hey, we're all playing basketball. Hey, you're making, you know, 8 million, you're making 10 million, I'm making 35 million. You know, whether who wins or loses this fucking game, we're all going to be on a yacht and sipping, you know, the finest champagne. It's not like that in mixed martial arts. It's like, hey, if I win, you're going to have your fucking check. If I lose, I'm getting half my check and you're getting your full check. That's why I think that mixed martial artists will never come band together, because if I win, you get less. If you win, I get less. And I think that's, you know, made a very nasty turmoil to your peers or everybody that you fight with or you train with. It's like, you're getting less if you lose, and you're getting more if you win, and the person on the other side is getting less or they're getting more. So you already built this type of, like, you know, nasty rapport with somebody else if you're fighting them. But it was very interesting point that out. And once he pointed that out, it kind of made me go down a path like, okay, why aren't athletes unionized? Why does athletes, you see it all the time, they put this person down, they uplift them, they're never uplifting each other, like he said. And that's one thing that was very interesting that he says, like, all boats rise, right? Like, if I help this guy out, then he's going to help me out, and then we're going to elevate each other. And that's what you saw, kind of like his career did, like him, Cloaksy, Tenet Tatman, even when he played Doctors Respect, they would all play together, collab with each other, and then their fans would become fans of each other. Like Doctors fans would become Knicks fans, and then Knicks fans would become Tim the Tatman's fans, and Tim Tatman fans become Knicks fans. Like, it was a big giant circle that they uplift each other. And you see it even today when you look at, the fighting nerds. You have these guys who are all together, they're collabing together, they train together. One nerd wins, they all four win. When one nerd loses, they're all kind of sad about it. Like, it's like a brand that they're building together. It's you see it more in streaming. You don't really see it in fighting because they're always fighting each other, right? Like, you look at it. Kyoji Horiguchi just signed with the UFC, and he was like, hey, I'm okay fighting Alex Pantoja, right? Or you have Patchy Mix, who just signed with the UFC, and he says, hey, I'm okay fighting Marab. Right there, they have to fight each other in order to get better. Where in streaming, it's different. They don't have to try to compete with each other. They vibe out with each other, and they elevate each other. So that's one thing that I think mixed martial arts can use. But then again, it's a sport where they're fighting each other. Speaking of sport, guys, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. What do you guys clarify as a sport? As Nick said, it's about speed, stamina, strength, agility, all those things. Where for me, I feel like if you're a professional gamer and the strenuous hours that you have to put into learning how to every ins and out of the map and learning how to, line up this shot. Okay, this gun shoots at this burst of rate. All those things, I will put him as a sport. But I'm not going to lie. When he starts talking about golf and when he starts talking about, chess and those things, there's a part of me where it's like, man, I can't, it's hard for me to put it in a sport category. But when I think about how many hours and how many, he makes a wrong move, I take advantage of this and da-da-da-da, it puts in a sports category. So maybe you guys can help us solve this debate. Leave a comment down below and let us know, what do you guys clarify as a sport? And put down in the comment section below, like, hey, this is what I clarify as a sport. These things are not sports. These things are considered a competitive, event, or whatever you want to call it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation with Nick Merckx. I had a great time, chatting with Nick Merckx. I love to step outside of the bubble, outside the box, and not always talk to the next upcoming athlete. I love to talk to guys who have inspired me or guys that I've enjoyed watching and I still watch to this day. And Nick Merckx was one of those guys. And he's also a big fan of the UFC. I mean, he watches all the time. He's going to be International Fight Weeks and have a suite there. He supports the brand. He supports the mixed martial arts community. So boys, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the MIGHTYcast, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live. And please get active in the comments because I want to know what you guys think. Do you think, golf is a sport, or you think it's just, a gentleman's, hangout session where you smoke cigars and swing your 9-iron? I am your host, Demetrious Johnson. The producer, Michael Bonshover, he's out there working hard, getting things ready for you guys. The guest was Nick Merckx. Make sure you guys follow him, support him as well. We'll see you guys at the next episode of the MIGHTYcast.